Hello, everybody. I think we're live and welcome. Yay. Happy Monday. Happy holiday to everybody who is off today. And for those of you who are not, who might be watching the replay, welcome. I'm happy that you're here. I hope that your day is still going well. So as the title mentions, today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite movies of all time. It's a classic. I don't know if it's like a classic or a black classic, but either way we'll take it. But yeah, so and I wanted to like make a thumbnail like teasing the person who's coming on. Like I had an idea of like name that Pokemon, right? But I couldn't figure out how to do that. So next time. But the surprise is already spoiled. So today I have a guest with me. This person is amazing. I love him. And I'm about to add him to the stream now. So, yay. Hello.
Yay! Oh, hi.
I know I was like, I don't know if
Sorry,
he's
my
ready,
camera's a
but
little
hey,
janky and
y'all.
stuff. Yeah, no,
That's
no.
all right. That's okay.
Hi. How you
But
doing?
yes, welcome. Hi, Level Up Single Mom. Hi, Now I See. Hi, Book of Camille. Welcome. Welcome, everybody.
Hi.
So, yes, today we have a guest, Jamiel. So, or what is your name on there?
Yay!
Jamiel. Okay. So,
Yay!
if you want to, please introduce yourself. Let us
Yes.
know who you are, what you're about, all the things.
Oh wow, that I didn't prepare for that. I had notes for other things, but I didn't prepare for an introduction at all.
That's all right.
Hi everyone. I um, what am I talking about? Okay, yeah. So I'm, I guess, as my little headline tagline thing says, the beneficial black man. So I'm a content creator, voice actor, and I do other things too. And and I am I guess the creator of the Beneficial Black Man, which the whole point I've been trying to work on my elevator speech, but the whole point of the Beneficial Black Man is to help Black men think better so they can be better, and to help them to better manage their mental and emotional health, so that they can become beneficial men for our community. So that's the hope and the dream. And then like I said, I'm a voice actor too. So I do voice stuff from time to time.
Yay. Thank you for introducing yourself. Oh, yay. Welcome.
Yeah.
So now I see
Thanks for
says
having
I
me.
subscribe to your channel today. Of course. Of course. Um,
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
yes. Thank you. Thank you. And hi, her warrior journey to freedom. Welcome. Welcome. Okay, so it seems like there might be a little delay with us. If so, that's okay. Feel free to interrupt me, interject. We're gonna try to make this work. Okay. All right.
Wow.
So no, it's okay. It's okay. Worst comes to worst, I'll just use my phone. Y'all, we happen to be in the same house, so we're in the same house,
Aw.
streaming. So we're gonna see if this works out. All right. Okay. So, welcome everybody. So, The Wiz, right? I should have got a picture. The Wiz. The Wiz, again, is one of my favorite movies of all time. And there are so many songs in this. There's so many songs in this film that we could talk about, and I probably will at some point. But I wanted to start with the song that actually moves me the most. And it's ironic because it moves me emotionally, but it's about a tin man who can't feel. So like who literally cannot feel emotions. And so last time we did the song, so we're starting. Okay, let me go back. We're doing song sermons, basically going through songs that I love, and songs that you recommend, and we're going to talk about the message in those songs. So the first one we did was Pocahontas, Colors of the Wind, which was really great. I suggest you all check that out. Everybody had so much to offer. It was beautiful. And today we are talking about, again, the Tin Man specifically in The Wiz. So, what would I do if I could feel? Okay. So, we didn't prepare. We didn't prepare before this. So, we're just kind of like, we're just kind of winging it at this point. But we both have notes written down about the song, and we're just going to, go off of that. So, the way that I did it was that I wrote notes based on like the stanzas and then offered my thoughts. I don't know how you want to go about this. How does that feel to you? Oh, you're muted. I'm sorry. Your mic is muted.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can we do something though? Because
Yeah.
I think we're having some technical issues because it's kind of difficult for me to hear you.
No.
I think I will just come into the other room.
Come on in. Let's do it. Okay.
Because I think that might be easier. So we
Okay,
don't
that
have
sounds
to worry
good.
about like, yeah. So I'm going to leave here and then I'm going to walk into the other room.
You're going to
Okay.
magically appear.
Magically appear. Okay.
Yes.
Give me a second.
Okay, that sounds good. No worries. All right, y'all. We're just going to work with what we can. Again, we're both streaming in the same house, and my mother is actually watching the stream downstairs. So I think it would just be better for us just to be in the same room. But either way, thank you for being here. Thank you for your patience. Yeah. And if you all have any, again, suggestions for the series, like songs that speak to you, please leave them. Please leave them below or leave them in the chat. Yeah. Okay. So hopefully y'all can still see me, hear me. But I'm going to pull up the lyrics to What Would I Do If I Could Feel? Yay! Who's that? We have a special guest. You said what?
It smells nice in here.
Oh, thank you. Jamiel says it smells nice in here. I appreciate that. Yay! So you got some new subscribers. Hi, people. Which side do you want to be on? This one? Okay. Yay.
I get in where I fit in.
Yes. Hi, The Dark Nate. Welcome. You Can't Win, child. Okay. That's one of my favorites too.
Yeah.
Again, so many songs on that album. Okay.
Okay. Sorry.
I hope they can hear you.
Yeah. I can
hope y'all
speak
can
up
hear me.
though.
Okay. Yes. Hi, mommy. Welcome. All right. So I was saying that I don't know how you want to do this.
Okay.
Y'all, please let us know if you can hear us.
Yeah.
Maybe I should put the microphone on. I think it should be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, let us know if you can hear us. If you can't, we'll try to talk like this into the mic. Okay.
Yeah. I'll speak louder.
Okay.
So you
Yeah.
should be able to pick up.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
All right. So I was saying, I don't know how you want us to talk about this because, okay, awesome. Okay. So The Dark Nate says we can. Awesome. Thank you, The Dark Nate. So I feel like you're so much shorter than I am
It's
right
okay.
now. Okay. Which is weird because he is taller than me. Okay.
Yeah.
So I said I didn't know how you wanted to go this,
Okay.
but I did stanza by stanza, like verse by verse.
Okay.
And then I offered my thoughts.
Okay. Let's do like that. Let's do
Okay.
your thing. And
All right.
And I'll chip in.
But okay.
Yeah.
So let me share the screen with y'all. Here we go. Share screen. I feel so fancy whenever I share screen.
You are fancy.
Oh, thank you. Okay, share. Window. There we go. Okay. So the first stanza says, what would I do if I could suddenly feel and to know once again that what I feel is real? I could cry. I could smile. I might lay back for a while. Oh, tell me what? What would I do if I could feel? Jamal asked me to sing these songs and I actually forgot about it. But
It's okay. I think you should sing them.
okay. I'm gonna sing it in my Nipsey Russel way because Nipsey didn't sing the whole way.
So just sing you're gonna sing the whole thing or just
Just the verses.
Okay.
Just what we're talking about.
okay.
What would I do? Just like, if I could suddenly feel and to know once again that what I feel is real. I could cry, I could smile, I might lay back for a while. I forget it. Oh, tell me what would I do if I could feel? Hi, Auntie Trey, welcome. All right, so enough of that. So that was the first verse.
Yeah.
All right, so what were your thoughts? I don't know if you want to go or.
Go ahead.
Okay, so the reason why I love this song is because it's so emotional.
Yeah.
Even though it's so like, I guess you want to see us. Even though it's so, I don't know, it's moving.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Auntie Trey. I appreciate that. I was trying to have some fun with some Nipsey Russel
Oh, yeah.
sounds. What's wrong?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're good.
But yeah, so I guess the idea about, I don't know, the song is like, this man has been sitting under teeny
Yeah.
for, was it hundreds of years? Or a lot of years?
Yeah, for a long time.
A long time.
Yeah.
And I guess she rusted and is gone because she's not alive.
Yeah.
But he basically is wanting to feel, right? Yeah. And so it's almost like he doesn't remember feeling. Like he doesn't remember what that feels like.
Yeah.
But which is crazy because he's rusted because he cried.
Yeah.
So that's a whole other conversation we'll probably get to.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I said he doesn't remember feeling and he doesn't even know what he feels is real. Like I guess I feel this way, but I don't really know like how I feel about that, right? And then I said, which is crazy when he says, I could lay back for a while. There is rest in, like, there is rest in feeling. Like, there's rest in grieving. There's rest in mourning. So even when he's saying I could lay back for a while, because I feel like this tension is being caused within him because he doesn't know what he feels or what's real, what's up, what's down. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, what are your thoughts so far? I have other things, but you can go ahead.
No, yeah, like, I think I have thoughts, but I also don't want to jump ahead. So I'm trying to.
You got something for us?
No. I mean, I think a lot of the stuff that you said is very good. I'm trying to remember, like, in contrast, because of course you have The Wiz and then you have The Wizard of Oz. Yeah. And we watched this recently, actually, and it's been a while since I guess both of us have seen it, and it's different seeing it as an adult compared to when you're a child. So in elementary school, for some reason, our 6th grade math teacher had us watch this movie countless times.
He was tired.
I guess so, because I mean, didn't really understand, adulting and the impact that it has on people's lives. But I definitely remember him turning off the lights, putting that on, and then there were a couple of times where he was snoring. But so you see the movie over and over and over again, right? Yeah. But watching it as an adult and understanding some of the complexities that exist and that they're trying to communicate, because The Wizard of Oz, the actual book, has a lot of deep meanings and stuff to it.
Yeah, it does.
But then, like I was saying, trying to remember the 2 different songs. So when they see the Tin Man,
if I only had a heart.
Yeah, like there's that kind of thing. But this one feels deeper.
Yeah, it does.
Like
it does.
That one's very sing-songy and like whatever. It's like, oh well, he's a Tin Man, whatever. He doesn't have a heart. But like this one is kind of like which is interesting that he doesn't feel, but he's sad. Yeah. Like he's sad and he's grieving that he can't have that experience. Yeah. He can't feel these things. He can't even rest. Like you're saying, I might lay back for a while. Yeah. And it's, I don't know, like, because I think about robots in general, like, if they're machines, they don't feel because they're always working. Yeah. And I mean, not only they don't feel because they're always working, but they're not designed to feel. Ooh, they're not designed to have any experiences at all. Yeah. And all right, I'm trying to hold some of my thoughts. Okay. So that is fine. But like, no, I mean, I think you pointing that out, like him not even being able to rest. Yeah. And how resting itself is a feeling. Yes. Yeah. Rest
is a feeling, and I feel like you enter rest through emotion. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, even when you're thinking about working, like you're thinking about working hard, you put all this energy, the sweat equity into it, right? And so like you're resting, like, I feel satisfied. That's a feeling. Yeah. Like absolutely. Feeling, you know what I'm saying? Like feeling rested about resting. And not saying you have to earn rest, because we don't believe in that over here. Right. But like still there is something unsettling about not being able to tap into your emotions. Yeah. And also I want to add the first The Wizard of Oz, the Tin Man, I was looking at like, why was he a Tin Man? Like, why were these characters chosen? Yeah. And the Tin Man was chosen to represent the people who worked industrialized jobs. Like, so the Tin Man represented that. But in The Wiz, I feel like, I don't know, it rings true about like the Black experience. Yep. Like, it's almost like we don't have time to feel. Yeah. Like, Black people for a long time, and this movie was made in the 70s, but like, Black people for a long time have been in survival mode. And it's almost like feeling was a luxury. Absolutely. Feeling was, right? Like, because there's no room for it. Yeah. And I think, I love the fact that a Black man was this, in this role being like crying over his complicated feelings towards Teenie, which was, his wife, I think, at a certain point.
It was...
was his wife?
No, it was. It was one of his many wives, though. So he had multiple wives. That was like his most recent, I think, wife. Because I think in like some of the dialogue, he talks about that, like his ability, like, he was talking about himself. He's like, I'm witty, I'm charming, stuff, and I have a problem of falling in love with the wrong women. Oh God. And so like, well, I guess Teenie was that example or whatever of a wrong woman. Yeah. But
isn't it interesting that he is charming and witty, and he can woo people and sway their emotions and manipulate them, and he has none. Yeah. That's wild.
He thinks he doesn't have
any. He thinks he doesn't have any. Oh, hey, J Mix, welcome. Oh, Auntie Trey, real quick, you said I'm so off the grid. I never heard that song. No worries. This came out in like the 70s.
Yeah.
Like the
This
movie.
is late. This is 78? No.
79? 78, 79.
Yeah.
But this is the one with Michael Jackson, Diana Ross, Nipsey Russell, and I always forget the lion's name. I am so sorry.
Ted something.
Ted.
I want to say.
It's not dancing because that's a white guy.
No, yeah.
But either way. Hi, J-Mix. Welcome. Just logged on. I've been playing this song on repeat for the last 2 days because I'm going to perform it in a few months. That's awesome. Yeah.
That's cool.
I had no idea y'all were about to do an analysis. Yes. And I hope that this helps in your performance.
I hope so.
I hope so.
Because the thing is, like, even, like I just mentioned a little bit, like, seeing it now as an adult, there's a lot of good things
Messages.
in this. Yeah. And especially, it's great that it's a lot of those themes, because I think we were talking about even while we were watching the movie, a lot of themes directed towards Black people.
Yes.
So, like, taking this older story, but then, like, oh, here are the correlations and stuff, how it relates to us as a community. It's so I'm excited to continue to talk about this.
Me too. The Dark Knight says, this is interesting to me because I have experience with this. Ooh, not to get super serious already. We love super serious, by the way. But there was a point where I was homeless, and there suddenly came a period where I couldn't feel emotions anymore. I just shut off. It suddenly happened one day where I felt, damn, I can't get happy. I can't even cry. Yeah. I did many things to try to feel again, like meeting new people and trying to go new places. Then I spontaneously hopped on a cheap trip to Miami to see if I could. And suddenly when I got in the sun again, I cried because of how amazing it is. Oh, that makes me want to weep. Yeah. To the feel of the sun again. This is why emotions are bad is such a stupid statement to me.
Yep.
Because emotions are an expression of the divine, though they can be cramped / corrupted. Yes. Yeah. And we're going to get into that too. This idea of bad emotions. Yeah. What does that even mean? Thank you so much for sharing that, The Dark Knight. That's really kind of you and generous of you to share that with us.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Themis, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much and welcome. Auntie Trey says, I'm reading too fast. I thought you said Nipsey Hussle. Oh yeah. No. No, Nipsey Russell.
Yeah.
But yes. Okay, cool. You heard the song. Okay, yeah. Okay, yes. And two, yes. Nate, you're on it. Yeah. Okay. Oh, the Dark Nate. Excuse me. Yeah. You're on it. But I do want to say that when I talked about there's rest in feeling. Mm-hmm. Like there's also like a release. Mm-hmm. Like when you feel, like even when you cry, like there's a release of emotion. Yeah, absolutely. And that in itself is cleansing. Absolutely. And I think that creates like the soft place for you to lay into land.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
No, that's good.
Also, I wanted to say it's also helpful to know why you're feeling what you're feeling. Mm-hmm. So when he's saying like, what do you say? To know if what I feel is real, mm-hmm. right? Like I really feel like a lot of us get caught up at like the top emotion. Mm. Like it's like this like secondary emotions, right?
Right.
So like anger, right? A lot of people will say anger is a secondary emotion mm-hmm. because the first emotion is hurt, right? Mm-hmm. And that anger might be you feeling betrayed, you feeling set up, you feeling abandoned. It might be triggering something else that has happened. Yeah. And I think that sometimes when we don't know why we feel what we feel, we tend to like push it away.
Absolutely.
Like it's inconvenient.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. Mm-hmm. And I think one of the things that I'm excited about this particular topic is I'm getting ahead of myself in my mind.
That's
but
okay.
Like I like the fact that these characters, mm-hmm. one are Black, but a lot of these other additional characters, so like the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, and even the Lion, they're Black men.
Yeah.
And so like even this, if you're as a Black man watching this and hearing how it's, because I think that is a unique issue that Black men deal with about the idea of not
having
feeling.
Emotions.
Yeah.
Because, or not feeling.
Yeah, not feeling, but also not having the space to feel. Like, so of course you long for it. Mm-hmm. You long to feel, mm-hmm. but because of the society that we're living, mm-hmm. which I think is interesting that he works in a carnival, like he's in entertainment. He's always doing the stuff and putting on and performing for other people, but he doesn't have the space to have his own experience.
Yeah.
And that's, I would say, is a general experience for Black people. Mm-hmm. And I would say it's even more pointed for Black men, because it's like, I can't feel. I can't have the space to do it.
Yeah.
And, even that lack of it, mm-hmm. it hinders you and makes you feel like a robot.
Yeah.
I
guess it's interesting because to me, like, so I'm sensitive, y'all. I was born sensitive, can't help it. It just is what it is. I've never been able to control my emotions in the way that people want me to control them, right? Like, obviously, no, I'm not cussing people out when I get angry
War. No, I'm joking.
or fighting or whatever. But like, you know, there was a time growing up when people, even family members, would say to me, like, stop being so sensitive. Why are you always crying? Right? And literally, I could not control it. I could not control the tears or the emotions. And so I've always had that, even if people criticize it, I've always had that space to feel because I'm going to create that space for myself.
Yeah.
Like, even, you're not going to not give me permission to feel my feelings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to feel. So I'm interested to hear from you, like, as a Black man, why is it that, because when I hear about, like, it's not safe to be, okay, let me go back.
Yeah.
Talking about, like, our ancestors, talking about even our parents, like, right, like, growing up in a different time, I feel like there was, again, their survival. Like, they're trying to survive, and they like, girl, we don't have, stop all that crying. We don't have no time for that, right? I feel like now we're in a privileged place. I do want to say that. I feel like now we're in a privileged place to explore our emotions and our feelings. And so, you know, what tends to happen, this is an aside, but what tends to happen is that people who are now feeling or like have words for their, have language for their feelings, sometimes look down on people who don't, right? Look down on people who like, who are, I mean, who at least who aren't violent, right? But like people who don't know. Like, even when I'm having conversations with people, men specifically, right? Men who will come on this channel and tell me all day long that I'm masculine and that's why I'm gonna die alone single and blah, 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 all these things. I'm like, what is it in you? And the reason why I'm able to ask these questions is because I've felt. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I see the criticism that you're giving me, and it's really an insecurity that you have.
Right.
You want me to feel like all is lost. There is no hope for Black women. Nobody loves us because you feel that way about yourself. You know what I mean? Like, you like, and you're hanging on by a thread, and you think that the way to make me honor you, right, as a person, is by putting me down. And the truth is, you don't have to do all that. Like, I honor people because they're people. But I think because of the world we grow up in, I think that there's less room for us to really be tender, especially now. People are just mean, but just be tender and kind and empathetic, because I know what that feels like. I know what it feels like to feel inferior and insecure and feel like you want to put people down. But anyway, long story, long tangent. But I do want to ask you, as a Black man, why? Like, why do you feel like, for Black men specifically, you're not able to express your emotions, or not you, but
no, I think it's layered. I think it's like generational trauma. And I think we have to go, as a community, we have to go through that and like unlearn all of that. Like, there's a lot of stuff to unlearn, like that's been passed down from great grandfather to grandfather to father to then son. And also like the influence of culture on our community. And I try to be hesitant about that because, like, you know, very often people say, you know, we need to do things for the culture. Exactly, you know, and I there are things that I like about the culture, but part of me is like, I don't want to claim that because some of it has been co-opted and used against us, and it's like no longer really our culture. It's like a tool, in my opinion. It's like a tool of destruction against us. And, you know, usually when people say the culture, mainly what they're talking about is like hip hop culture.
Sure.
It's hip hop culture, and then like very stereotypical Black culture. But it takes like, it doesn't really take all of the other important, valuable things that as a community we have created and actually value and put into. It's like, no, this is your culture. And because that culture influences us, and that's what we're told at a young age, and that's what we see all the time all around us, then we try to mimic it. So now you have this culture that is telling you, particularly as a Black man or a Black boy, be stoic, be hard, don't express your emotions, don't share anything, you know, don't let people get close to you. And if you're hearing that over and over and over again, and the people around you are mimicking that, telling you that, reinforcing that, you stick with it. And if nobody's telling you an alternative or giving you any insight of something different, that's all you have. You know, and then it doesn't help when, if you are being emotional or expressive. Doesn't help when you have misogynistic thoughts and misogynoiristic thoughts set against you.
Yeah.
So like, why are you crying like a little girl?
Like being a girl is a
Yeah,
problem.
exactly.
Yeah.
Why are you acting like a bee?
Yeah.
So now, as a man, you're trying to like, well, I'm around other men. I don't want them to look at me like that.
Right.
So now
anything but a woman.
Right. So I have to go
Yeah.
as far away from it as possible. And like something that came to mind for me is in the movie Moonlight, you have this character, you see him grow up, right? And you see his transition from being a sensitive boy to more or less becoming a thug. You know, and like he becomes the stereotype.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
And that's his way of pushing against, you know, kind of like the big trope about it was his
being gay.
Yeah. His sexuality. And so it was like, how can I push that as far away as possible?
Yeah.
Let me become.
Let me protect myself.
Yeah, let me protect myself and let me just create this, I guess, facade and do whatever I need to do to fit in so people don't think these things about me. And I think the culture teaches that. Yeah. And I think the overarching society teaches that. And then again, the layer of generational trauma or generational curses, whatever you want to tell, doesn't make space. And it doesn't encourage men to actually be healthy, to be human beings, to be... I like Jason Wilson, you know, I bring him up often, but he has this idea, he coins, the phrase that he coined is being a comprehensive man. So you can be strong, you can be all these things, but you can also be sensitive. Yeah. And it's important for you to do that. You know, like you have to be able to be in touch with your emotions and everything. Yeah. And I think it's good, but it's also sad that it's taken so long for that to now be the shift in the push to be like, yo, it's okay to be all right. Yeah. Like if you're sad, it's okay to be sad. Like explore your emotions, explore all these things, be human. Stop living up to this, stop living up to these ideas and these tropes that are being fed to us, because that's really what it is, you know. Like, I hope I answered your question.
No, you did. I was trying to quietly get my pens from my pouch because I have notes. But you just said be human. Yeah. And I think a big problem is that at the foundation, especially of this country, I can't speak about other cultures, obviously, because that's not my experience. But I know from the foundations of this country, we weren't seen as human. Right. There was no room for emotions. We were seen as brute beasts. Yep. And so you see this when you're talking about like the culture, to me, it mirrors the way that the enslavers looked at the enslaved. Absolutely. So if you're talking about, you know, and there have been, I get it, like, do what you want, have fun, you know, as long as you're not harming nobody, it's not a problem. Yeah. But when you do things like, you know, when I see things and I'm just like, I'm looking at, and I'm not judging, but I'm thinking, right? Okay. And so I'm thinking about like, even like wearing chains. Yep. Chains around the neck, like, which is fine. Yeah. Do what you want to do. If you like chains, you like chains. Yeah. But it is reminiscent to me of chattel slavery. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Like, and now what I think a lot of black folks do is internalize something that was meant to be harmful, and we regurgitate it in a way that's like, oh, this is, which is a beautiful thing to do, right? Yeah. But I think that the problem is that we internalize and regurgitate the wrong things. Yep. It's like, you don't have to, like, I get it. We reclaim the word, the N word. We reclaim the B word. We reclaim like all these different things. And it's like, but is that really ours to reclaim? Right. And again, do what you want. Yeah. I'm not judging you for whatever you do, because you're free to do whatever you want to do. But I think for me, sometimes thinking about the stuff is like, who taught me that this is what it means to be black even? Yep. Who taught me? You know what I'm saying? Like, because honestly, sadly, we're not the ones benefiting from that culture. Monetarily, health-wise, like even what is the word? Like desirability. We're not the ones benefiting from any of the stuff. Like pieces of ourselves are broken off, especially the broken pieces. That's the part that the majority culture likes to monetize, is the broken pieces of Black America or Black people, period. But yes, I'm sorry. When you said that there's struck something in me, be human. I feel like we're just learning how to be human. Even like with hustle culture, grind culture, capitalism, Black excellence, which to me, Black excellence is just a reframe of capitalism. You know, and I understand the reason why we do it. But at the same time, if Black excellence is, and again, do what you want to do. I celebrate everybody who is doing the things. the doctors, teachers, lawyers, but also the
absolutely.
janitors, the taxi drivers, all of them. Like we out here.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like, you know, it's almost like we're living in a place where we continue to feel like we have something to prove to other people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
I agree.
I got this, and it's like, but you're a holy, sacred being. Period.
Absolutely, I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I agree. Two things, because I know we only hit
Sorry,
one stanza
y'all.
of the song, but like two things. Like when you mentioned the with the idea of chains, I personal experience. Like I remember in elementary school, I'll say this about myself. I feel like I had like a high school experience in elementary school, which is not good.
No,
which is not good, and I don't know why that happened. So like dealing with the idea of like wanting to be really cool to people, peer pressure and all that stuff, like dealing with all that stuff, it happened to me, I would say, in my elementary school time. So of course during that time, chains, I don't think chains have ever gone out of style, especially with like hip hop culture. So having that desire is like, oh, if they got chains, I want chains too, you know. And I remember expressing that to, I think, my dad one time, and he's like, why do you want a chain? And then he said that, you know, it's like, when I think of chains, it's like, you got freed from chains. Why are you trying to wear chains? And it's like, okay, Dad.
Your dad's a wise man.
Yeah, and like I appreciate that, because that stuck with me.
Yeah.
Like that stuck with me the whole time, you know.
Yeah.
I think I forgot the other nugget I was gonna say.
Bring it back,
Yeah,
bring it back.
I forgot.
Okay, we can call you Nate. Okay, awesome. I didn't want to misspeak. I used to be defined as a crybaby. Same. And that made me cry more. Yeah. It's shame, right? Like, then I toughened up, but I cried recently, and it was so freeing. It's quite okay to cry. Absolutely. And can I tell you that tears literally are healing, like literally physically?
Yep.
When you cry, your body is releasing toxins. There's a reason why you cry.
Yeah.
Like, there's a reason why you sweat. There's, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so even, this is just random, but like, it's almost like we're trying to fix the humanness of ourselves. Now, wear deodorant, obviously, because we don't want to stink, but antiperspirant, right? Like this idea of like, oh, let me put this on because sweating is inconvenient.
Yeah.
Your body needs to sweat.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and just like sweating, your body needs to cry.
Yeah.
So yeah, I understand what it feels like to be called a crybaby, and then feel bad about crying, and then feel bad about feeling bad about crying, and then you're trapped in this like loop of shame.
Yeah.
You become sorry for being human.
Yep. Absolutely.
It's like, well, I can't help how I feel. It's almost like, you know, when kids, we talked about this recently, babies have, like, toddlers have big emotions that they don't have words for.
Yeah.
And then you see a parent telling a child, stop all that crying.
Yeah.
Why are you crying like that?
Yeah.
They don't know.
Yeah. My body is just doing things.
My body.
And
also, like, these emotions, I don't have words for it.
Yeah.
It's like, this person took my toy, right?
Yeah.
And so the kid, it could be selfishness. It could be like,
absolutely.
It's mine. But it could also be the feeling of betrayal, like, wait, no, like this is safety to me. Someone's taking away my safety.
Yeah.
How do you explain that to a toddler?
Right.
You don't explain it away by saying stop crying.
Yeah.
You go there with them and you help them. And I feel like we got to do the same thing as adults. Right? Like, why? When I feel my feelings, I'd be like, why do I feel this way? I leave room for it, and I interrogate it.
Yeah.
What is at the heart of this feeling? Because a lot of times it's not the feeling I think it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, oh, I feel abandoned by my friends.
Yeah.
That's what this is.
Yeah. No, that's good, and I think that's very basic level emotional intelligence to be able to sit and be aware of what you're experiencing.
Yeah.
I remember the other thing I was going to say.
Yes,
like you were talking about you
Oh no, is it gone again?
No, it's
okay.
It's there. You were talking about pretty much like how we are kind of always chasing after this standard that's not really good for us. Yeah. And I think to me, from what I'm seeing, is like one of the issues, particularly as Black folk, is that we haven't established our own standard, and it sucks. Like, because we are being fed what we should be striving for.
Yeah.
We are told, like you were saying about Black excellence, this is what you should be striving for. This is the goal. This is whatever. Never really defining it for ourselves or having like an agreement, a good communal agreement and understanding, like this is what's considered good. Because even if you go outside to other countries and other nations and stuff like that, there are certain vibes or themes that you can get from a place. You know, like this is what we value. Like
community,
right? Like
our elders.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, so regardless of where you are
Yeah.
or who you meet from these places, like, no, we all believe this. We're all taught this.
Yeah.
But I think here in the U.S. and in the West, we're always told what is supposed to be best.
Yes.
And then if you are choosing something that's different from that, now you're an outcast.
You're a failure.
Or you're a conspiracy theorist. Or
yes.
you're other.
Yeah.
But nobody wants to feel other.
Yeah.
Especially in what's considered their home country.
Yeah.
Even though we know this isn't whatever.
Yeah.
But
we get it.
like but I think that's why it's interesting when you see other people come here, how they navigate the system, how they navigate I consider this a matrix, how they navigate this matrix. You know, they keep their values, they try to keep their values and say, like, I'm going to work, I'm going to hustle, I'm going to do this stuff, but I'm still going to, all of this money, all these resources are going back to the things that really matter.
Yeah.
Going back to home or bringing people here to have a better life. But we are always indoctrinated to say, like, no, this is what the benchmark is. And I don't think as a community we haven't set a bar or standard for ourselves to be like, no, like, this is what's really valuable, not what they keep telling us.
Yeah.
And that keeps us in that loop, and that keeps us from being healthy.
I agree. I have thoughts, but I agree. Oh, Themis, thank you. This conversation feels like a warm hug. Oh, yay. Also, I love how you both relate to each other. Thank you, Themis. I appreciate that. That means a lot. I actually find it refreshing to see a man show emotion and sexy to me. Me too. I'm like, where do you? And I get it. Maybe some of the ladies might not like it. I appreciate a vulnerable man. Okay, ain't nothing like it. I feel safer with a vulnerable man than with a man who shows me no emotion. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, I think there's.
Go ahead.
No, you're fine. I agree. I think the issue, because I've, you hear men talk about this kind of stuff, and especially I guess that they always come up like the manosphere kind of situation. But like, there are guys who will say, like, sure, women may say they want to see emotions and stuff like that, and then their kind of rebuttal to that is like they're lying. Like, they don't really want to see a sensitive or emotional man. And I think a part of that issue is, like, in that conversations, particularly on the manosphere side, they like to use extremes. So when they think of sensitive or emotional, they just think of somebody that's crying all the time. I don't think anybody wants to see anybody that's crying all the time, or that doesn't have, like,
something's wrong.
Yeah.
Or if they're weeping.
Yeah,
for pain.
Like for anything. Like, like, no, I mean, like, crying in, like, not even in a healthy way.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm trying to think if I could think of, like, an analogy or a picture, but just, like, there's a difference between, like, you can be expressive and then it's like you have no control over emotion. Yeah. Like, it just pours out everywhere, and, like, you're almost unconsolable, whatever. Like, I think women appreciate when men are able to express themselves and to be honest and to, like, share themselves, whether it's sad, whatever, they're able to express that. And at the same time, still be able to be like, okay, I can still do what I need to do. Like, I don't, this is my opinion. I could be wrong. But, like,
safe space.
Like, if I was to say, like, I'm going through something or whatever, I know you would appreciate that if I'm expressing my feelings or whatever. But I think it would be a problem if I just, like, never got out of that. So just say I was just, like, Eeyore all the time, just, like, Eeyore. And not even, like, because dealing with depression is one thing.
That's different. Yeah.
But, like, now that, I feel like you can get to a place, if you're not emotionally mature, you can get to the place where you just kind of, I feel like I'm at a loss for words, but, like, you kind of, like, seem useless. Okay. So it's just like, yeah, you're expressing yourself all the time, but now you're not going to work, or you're not doing this thing. You're not, like, taking care of the things that I want you to take care of, I need you to take care of. Yeah. Like, that's bad.
Like, you can't function.
Right. Yeah. That exactly. Yeah. So you can't function. Yeah. Like, nobody wants that. Yeah. So, but I think in that conversation, that's what guys think of. Like, they equate that to sensitivity. They equate that to emotionality. But it's like, no, like, you can, going back to what I said about Jason Wilson, you can be a comprehensive man. Like, I'm grieving, or I'm sad, or I'm scared, or I'm angry, whatever. I can express these things and have control and understanding of them, process them, express them, navigate them, and keep doing what I need to do.
Yes.
Instead of
at your own time.
Right. And instead of the extremes, like, well, I'm just not going to have any feelings. So you go to the extreme of being stoic or like hard face. And it's like, no, like there's a happy medium that we are supposed to experience as human beings. I feel like we went on a tangent. I'm sorry.
It's okay. This is the tangent. This is the place for tangents. We go on tangents all the time. But I agree with you. I think that what's ironic to me is that even these men saying that women don't want emotional men, you being stoic is still an emotion.
Yeah.
Like it's worse than it's not worse, but it's worse than an emotion because emotions aren't bad, right?
Yeah.
But what's bad is you lying.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have feelings, but you're lying to me about them.
Yeah.
And I think that there are some people who are disconnected from their emotions and who can't empathize with other people.
Yeah.
Some people who are literally like, and I'm not saying this I'm not saying this in jest. I'm saying this seriously, like sociopaths.
Yeah.
Like they're people, like these are people with who need help.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? And so when you're presenting yourself like, I ain't got no emotions or whatever, I see a small, scared little boy.
Yeah.
What you're telling me is that you're afraid.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Like, you're not, stop.
Yeah.
Or even how some emotions are seen as masculine versus feminine. Like, this idea of crying is very like, oh, women cry.
Right.
Where it's like, men cry too, but also like what is celebrated is men being angry.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like,
exactly.
And that's also an emotion.
Yeah.
What's celebrated is men being lustful and men being insatiable and greedy.
Yeah.
Like it's the exact, but all these are feelings. All these are like states of being.
Absolutely.
And it's not that one is better than the other. It's just that they're different. And some of them are okay.
Yep.
I guess for men specifically.
Yeah, no, it's
and
true.
some aren't. Or just like when, for Black women specifically, passion, being confused for anger.
Yeah.
And even if I am angry,
Yeah.
I'm allowed to be angry. Black women have a lot to be angry about.
Absolutely.
And I'm not going to over explain to you or make excuses as to why I'm upset.
Yeah.
Like, no, there's a such thing as called righteous anger.
Yeah.
Like, I can be, if I see someone on the street being passed over, like they're the scum of the earth, or if somebody is beating somebody up, or if somebody is mistreating somebody, I have the right to be angry, and you should be angry too.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if we're all empathetic, you should be angry too. But it's almost like anger, again, for Black women, it's like, oh, she's an angry Black woman. Yes, I am. I'm also, you know what I'm saying? I'm also I'm sensitive, and so as a sensitive person, so Alicia, right, me. I am very sensitive and I own it. And I know that I'm passionate. And when I speak with my whole heart. I mean what I say. And for a long time, I felt shame about that because I didn't want to stir the pot. I don't want to be the angry Black woman. Should I send this back even though this is not what I ordered? Like, seriously. This idea, like, oh, I don't want to be perceived. And at some point, like, honestly, shout out to my mom. She would go to restaurants and this is not what I asked for.
Yeah. This is bad.
And at first I'm like, Mom, you gotta stop. Like, just... It's fine. No, my mother's paying money. This is not what she asked for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
And standing in that and being like, oh, actually,
you
know what? I can actually ask for what I want.
Yeah.
And because I paid for it. Right. But I think, just like with the emotion piece, like anger is seen as like, oh, men are allowed to be angry. Men are allowed to punch people in their face. Men are allowed to shoot each other on the street because somebody did something stupid. But a woman is not allowed to be angry. A woman is not allowed to raise her voice. A woman is not allowed to, speak with passion, speak with conviction, because then she's an angry, bitter Black woman and she's discounted. And she doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
No,
People weaponize emotions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Against
and that sucks because, like, even I think as another form of weaponization of emotions is like pretty much what you're saying is like categorizing. Yeah. And so, like, particularly for Black people, there are certain emotions that are acceptable for Black women. Yes. And then there are certain emotions or experiences that are acceptable for Black men. Yeah. And if you deviate or navigate from other, you're wrong. Yeah. And it sucks. You know, it's like it's another form of captivity. Yes. Like, you can only be in these couple of boxes. Yep. And it's like, no, but I'm human. Like,
yes.
There's so
I'm
much
complex.
more. Right. But if you're constantly being taught that, like, no, if you color outside of this line, you're wrong, you're out of line, or, you know, we're going to say misogynistic stuff about you or whatever, like, then you start to get, you know, like, your heart gets crunched up into these, like, little compartments. And, like, now I have this whole human existence that I want to express, but I can't.
Yeah.
I can only do a third of it.
Yeah.
Or like 1/16 of it.
Yeah.
To be considered a man or a woman.
Yikes. And can I also just say, this idea that women are more sensitive than men is not true. Like,
not at all.
I feel like everybody is born sensitive.
Absolutely.
What I feel that happens is that we develop a safe covering. We develop an armor that protects us from the ability of being hurt. Right, protects us from the, being vulnerable, right? Like we've learned that over years. If I don't show emotions, like don't let them see you sweat, don't let them see you cry, don't give them the satisfaction. And it's like, but really, what that taught me is like me showing emotions is not giving anyone satisfaction. Me not showing my emotions is living in that prison they created for myself, right? Like. If I'm around someone and I'm trying to big up them and be like, oh, they won't see me cry, they own me. Yeah. They own my emotions. Yeah. They own my being. Yeah. They own my freedom. I'm free to weep wherever I want to, including in front of the person who hurt me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And if they can't receive that, if they are not moved, it's not crying because I'm trying to move them. I'm crying because I'm trying to move the emotions out of my body. Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to heal myself. And it's an honest display of emotion. Yeah. So that's the only thing I want to say. But we're behind. I'm sorry, y'all. The Dark Knight says, and capitalism has made it even worse. We have to be hustlers and just work 24/7 in order to even survive. Capitalism actively kills any initiative to truly be compassionate. We're forced to look out for ourselves first to get a job. Absolutely. 100%. Capitalism creates enslaved people. Yep. I mean, that's, again, people wonder why are you so against capitalism? Because of the way that it was founded. It was founded on the backs of black bodies, on the backs of indigenous folks, right? Like, there's no way that I can be pro something that is so destructive, and it's still destructive. It destroys everything it touches. The people, the connection, the emotions, the nature, the air. I mean, look at what happened. The train derailing and people, oh, it's fine. Right. You're protecting the business over the people. That's why. So anyway. That's why I get a little sad when getting new jobs, because I probably took away an opportunity from somebody who needed that job. But it's considered necessary in order to be successful. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, listen, if you need the job, you need the job. But I understand what you're saying. Yeah. I understand what you're saying. Hi, Mara. And it feels like you're being controlled by trying to impress. Yes. Yes. It is. It is. Hi, Level Up Single Mom. Every time I engage with your content, I cry. Oh, I hope those are good tears. I was like, wait. But no, it's so pure and beautiful. It's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate that. Hi, Queen with no kingdom. Aleciarenece the artist, do you think there is a limit to being too emotional? No. I think to be human is to be emotional. Yeah. Is there a limit to how you express those emotions? Absolutely. Yeah. So there's nothing wrong with me. Even Christians like to use Christianese and like to use the Bible to justify telling people not to be feeling, which is what are you talking about? The Bible is full of people who had feelings, whether right or wrong, right? Or who acted on their feelings, whether right or wrong. Yeah. Even in scripture, it's the sin is not anger. The sin is you carrying out that anger or that rage uncontrollably, right? Yeah. So me being upset is not a problem. Yeah. But if I'm going on a rampage harming people, yes. Yeah. That is a problem. Yeah. That's an issue. So I hope that answered your question. Yay. Not the lives though. I meant the music and uploads. Okay, awesome. That makes me happy. That makes me happy. I personally believe the limit is when it gets to a point where you can't control them to the point it hurts other people's livelihoods. I agree. Auntie Trey says that's so profound. Yes, babies cry because it doesn't feel right. Exactly. They don't know. They just know something is not right. Yeah. Something is wrong. And you get to know yourself better. Absolutely. Matt. Hi, Matt. I love you. Welcome. Hi, Matt. Yes, they are much more intentional with how they engage with the society. Absolutely. I talked about before. Yeah. Hi, child of 83. It should be wrong to prey on someone who is emotionally vulnerable. Yeah. It shouldn't be wrong to show emotions. Let's make it uncomfortable to prey on emotions and comfortable to show emotions. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm here for it. Yeah. I'm here for all of it. Matt says, ain't that the truth? Vulnerability. Yes. Listen, a vulnerable man. Okay. Hi, something better. Hello, I'm glad I catch you live. I'm glad you're here. Yeah. I'm glad to see Marcus here with you. Oh, is Marcus here? Oh no. Oh, if you're talking about this gentleman beside me. Yes. It's Jamiel.
It's Jamiel.
Yeah. It's funny because they'll be like, is Marcus your husband? I'm like, no, he's just my best friend. Emotions are a tool for course correction. Yes, absolutely. That is really good.
Yeah, I like that.
I love that. And gluttonous, that part. Mm-hmm. Yes, the emotions, that's okay. It's okay to be greedy. It's okay to be gluttonous. Yeah. Hi, PJ Afro Blue 92. For someone who is really struggling with anxiety right now, it's so important to acknowledge your feelings and emotions. Mm-hmm. Yes. I've held a lot in, and now I'm paying for it. I'm healing and I'm okay. Okay, good. I'm glad that you're healing and that you're doing better. Yeah. And I agree. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know if you want to, you talk about like emotional release valve.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about,
sure.
or is that later in your?
No.
Okay.
I didn't write that anywhere, but like, it's just one of the concepts that I like to try to share with men is that we all need to have what I call an emotional release valve. It's just an opportunity to release your emotions in a constructive and healthy way. And it can look a lot of different ways. And one of the main ways that I try to encourage is through creativity. So actually making something, whether it's art, writing, cooking, whatever. Like there are so many different ways, but actually creating something is a good way to just like whatever I'm feeling, I'm getting it out so that I don't carry it around. Because like they just said, bottling all that stuff up will eventually actually cause damage to you.
Yes, it's true. Like there have been studies done where when you carry stress in the body, your body literally starts to break down.
Yeah.
Like your body was not meant to, like you said, carry all those emotions, carry that heavy weight, like get it out. And again, there's a lot of art that I've created, a lot of music, a lot of videos, even content I've made based on things that I've been through, right? Like pain that I've experienced and I process it in real time. Yeah. And even though there is no solve, it's not fixed. Getting it out makes me feel a lot lighter.
Absolutely.
Like earlier, I got really frustrated because the internet was not doing what it needed to be done. Yeah. And I was like, I need to go for a walk. So we went for a walk, and I came back, and I felt better. Just like the act of moving my body.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Gets me out of my head. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Auntie Trey says, I watched my mom being abused from an early age, and I would jump in, and I was more than willing to get the beating with her. So I jump in. It's not right. Yeah, it's not right. It's not. And I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry that you had to go through that and that your mom had to go through that. Yeah. Yes, because I be angry and don't care anymore and allow the feelings. Listen, feel your feelings. Yeah. Because you know what happens? I feel like a lot of people gaslight people who are confident in their emotions. Yeah. A lot of people be like, that's not what that is. Or, no, I'm telling you what I feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, so yes, feel your feelings. Yeah. Hi, Wiggle Will 500. Generational issues regarding feelings and stereotypes based on race and gender. Absolutely. Yep. Yes. Yep. I agree. At work, I'm always so conscious about the way I'm perceived if I'm passionate about my work. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Understand. Listen, I get it. Yeah. Or if you dare stand up for yourself or like, you know what I'm saying? You're afraid of retaliation. You're afraid of like, even though it's like you haven't done anything wrong, they might treat you like you've done something wrong if you're not with the program. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I understand that. As a side note, being sensitive usually means you're endowed with spiritual gifts where you can perceive more, feel more than people who aren't yet empathetic. In my school, it's considered, scroll, the greatest treasure to be empathetic because empathy is what drives God to love and save people. Yes. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah. It's deep and it's true. It's so like that can make me cry. It's so true. It's so true. Well, thank you for your smiles. Yeah. Let's see. I was called reactive. Like, people aren't supposed... Okay. I was called reactive by my boss when I would voice concerns. That's really annoying. And I'm very sorry, Andrea. Yeah. I'm very sorry. That's not okay. Yeah. Like, things have a reaction. Yeah. Not somebody asking, why are you streaming with your dad? Dang. What? This is my husband. Wow. What does that mean? I know my hair I hope you're not being nasty. I hope you're not being nasty because this is a nice place. Let's see. Yes.
Or maybe that means I'm wise. I'll take that.
We'll take it. I like that. And nice to see you on the live, Jamiel.
Thank you. It's nice to be seen.
Oh, yay. I'm glad that you came. Thanks, Demas. And thanks, Yazzie, for coming. I appreciate you. Not that, Vashti. Hi. Yes, creativity is a perfect way to release tension. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Ooh. Oops. Anger is held in your back. Wow. And that makes sense. Yeah. That thinking about that makes perfect sense, actually. Yeah. Yes, feel your feelings. Oh, like how anxiety is held in the chest. Yes.
That's
When I feel like
interesting.
I'm on the verge of panic attacks,
Yeah.
like it's right here. Like
Okay.
I feel my heart, like it's almost like I feel it palpitating, and it feels like the world is kind of caving
Yeah,
in
yeah. Mhm.
right here.
Yeah.
Y'all making a lot of sense. Okay. So we only went through one stanza. We're gonna keep going. But yes, please share, y'all. We appreciate y'all being here. Okay.
Yeah.
So yes. Okay, yeah. So I said when you feel numb or can't name the feeling, it's overwhelming, right? So he said we're talking about the Tin Man from The Wiz, by the way.
Yeah.
When he said that I could what do you say? I could cry, I could smile, I might lay back for a while. Tell me, what would I do if I could feel? Okay,
Yeah.
let me show y'all the rest. The next line. Did you have anything to add?
No.
Okay. I don't know if y'all can see. Hold on.
Oh, do
Yes.
the click here.
Yeah.
And let's see if I can do this. Wait. Here.
Oh, Control plus.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So
Jamal has all the shortcuts. I literally text him at work and be like, "What's a shortcut for?" Okay, thank you.
hopefully that's better.
Yes, hopefully y'all can see.
Yeah.
Shout out to Charles Emmanuel Smalls. You wrote this song.
Yeah. The writing
is beautiful.
The writing in The Wiz
Yes.
is so good.
It's delicious.
Again, and not hindsight, but like seeing it
Yeah.
as an adult is definitely different from feeling like you're suffering
Yes.
through it as a child.
You suffered through. I loved it.
I told you I saw it like 20 times.
Oh, well, that's different. Okay. I can
And I
understand
mean,
that.
I will also say, like, it's taken me a while to appreciate musicals.
Fair.
It's
That's fair.
taken me a while to appreciate musicals.
Yeah.
So.
All right. This next line says, "What would I do if I could reach inside of me?" Okay, I didn't even finish my notes, but okay. What would I do if I could reach inside of me and to know how it feels to say, "I like what I see," right? Then I'd be more than glad to share all that I have inside of here and the songs my heart might bring. You'd be more than glad to sing. Okay, we'll stop there. All right. I did have notes for the last
No,
stanza.
please.
I apologize.
No, it's right.
Okay. So it says it's interesting because a lot of people are, ooh, girl. Okay, a lot of people are afraid of their feelings and their pain, and he's running to them. Like a lot of us are afraid of feeling anything, afraid of being seen as vulnerable or like scared. And the Tin Man is like, no, like I want to feel. I want to feel all the emotions.
Yeah.
And I think that's like that, oh, these are good feelings. These are bad feelings, right? Like, no, like, hey, like these are all feelings and they're all beautiful and they're all necessary. They're all important. It's
Absolutely.
like, just like when you hurt yourself, there's a signal. Like if I were to get a paper cut right now, there's a signal that was sent to my brain to say, hey, something's wrong here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And the same thing with those bad emotions. Like when we feel the fear, when we feel the pain, when we feel the heartbreak or the betrayal, whatever those negative feelings are, it's a signal to yourself. Much like what Level Up Single Mom, vitamin key, but like seriously what she was talking about is like, I learned from this painful experience. I mourn it, of course, but I learn and I pick up myself and I apply those lessons and not in a bitter way, not in a way that's like, I'll never love again. Screw like being mature to be like, that was that experience with that person. It is valid. I will be careful to not experience that again. Right? Try. I mean, some things you can't stop, but that's when people be like, oh, you chose wrong. It's like, what does that even mean? Please shut up. So anyway, so he's running towards their feelings and their pain. And so we see feelings as an inconvenience when it's a blessing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like there are people who can't feel pain in their bodies and it's a problem.
Yeah.
They got to always go to the doctor because they could have a broken arm and never know.
Yeah.
They would never know.
Yeah.
And so like with the same thing for our hearts, like our minds even, being aware that's like, I don't like how that person talked to me.
Yeah.
I feel, I feel that kind of, oof.
Yeah.
That hurt me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or like, you know, oh, when I feel this pain, I do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Right? So how can I better cope? How can I better feel? Right? How can I just be better?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because you can't avoid pain.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some things that you can do to try to avoid it, right? But like the beauty that vulnerability is that there's a risk. There's always a risk with vulnerability. But being vulnerable is worth it. because you're not lying. You're not putting on someone you think you have to be loved and cared for and admired. Like they're it's just too heavy. You know what I'm saying? But being vulnerable with the right people,
Absolutely.
right? With the right people you trust and know and love, is a beautiful experience. Like there's nothing I won't tell Jamiel. There's nothing I won't tell my friends. Like it's beautiful. Like to be able to stand in your truth and be like, yo, like, no, this is how I feel. I know this is how I feel, and I'm going to do X, Y, and Z about it, or I'm just going to cry. You know what I'm saying? Which is a lot of what I do. But yes. So the question I wrote down for myself is, are there good and bad feelings? Does that exist? Is there a dichotomy? Does it have to be like, oh, these are good feelings, these are bad feelings, or are they just all beautiful in their own way? Yeah. And I tend to lean towards the latter.
Yeah, I agree because they all serve a purpose. And
they all serve a purpose.
I think that's important to keep in mind, that there's value in all of it.
Yes.
Like even, I don't know, what kind of came to mind when you were describing like how people very often want to avoid pain. It's like sometimes there's purpose in it. Purpose in the pain that you experience or things that you go through. And, you know, you can learn a lot. And so like emotions, there may be ones that we don't want to experience
because they're not fun.
Yeah, we don't like them, but it's not like they're good or bad. There's a purpose behind all of them. You know.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. Sorry, y'all. Let's see. Excuse me. Okay, not that Vashti. Oh, sorry, y'all talking to each other. Yes, they're called highly sensitive people. Yes. This is why I know the spiritual and physical aren't separate. I agree.
Absolutely.
Because so-called spiritual feelings directly affect the apparent body. What you feel has a tangible effect. 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
Hi, London League. Welcome. Wait, the Wiz had the GOATs, Michael Jackson and Diana. Yes. This is the one we're talking about. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Yazzie says, stress has me eating. I'm a stress eater too. I eat my emotions.
Yeah, me sometimes too.
Yeah. I had to sit through the feelings and allow it to pass instead of eating all the Oreos.
Oreos will get you, yo. Oreos will get you. All right?
Let me tell you something, Yazzie. There are 3 packs of Oreos downstairs right now.
Yeah, I think 2. But,
2?
You know,
okay.
We probably worked our way through one.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yes, no.
Oreos will get you.
They will.
Some giants.
They will. But again, Yazzie, you're talking about exactly what we're talking about, right? Yeah. This idea of like, oh, this is what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Let me sit with this instead of like numbing it, right? Like instead of numbing the feelings and drowning them out.
Yeah.
Let me feel them. And I think a lot of people, I think I wrote this down, whatever. If I'm ahead, I'm ahead. I think that a lot of people miss out on the healing because you have to go through it.
Yep.
Like there is no avoiding it. There is no, like that hard conversation gonna have to be had at some point.
Yeah.
If you want to heal.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's almost like when you don't feel the feelings, it's like you're sitting there with an open wound.
Yep.
And what happens with open wounds? They fester, right? They what do you call it? Sometimes they die.
Yeah.
like there's, what is it, necrosis? Is that what I'm thinking about? Like there are things that happen to the body when the wound is just open.
Yeah.
For the world.
Yeah.
When you feel the feelings, it's almost like the cleaning out of the wound.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I would add to that, I would say very often what people do is try to cover it without actually addressing it properly. You know, so like you have, you know, say you do have like an actual gash in your arm. It's like, no, just put some Band-Aids on it. It's like, what? Like, no.
Yeah.
You that needs to be stitched up. Like you need some stuff
Take
there.
Some Robitussin.
Yeah, or like you break a bone. Like you have to set things back in place. You need to actually address the things or it will heal wrong or it won't.
Yep.
And if we don't do that, which I think is another way that people try to deal with their emotions or pain or anything, like let's just cover it up.
Yeah.
But no, like you're saying, it's sitting there festering, not healing, not getting any better.
Yeah.
And then when somebody bumps into it, then you freak out. Like you're, you know, and like
that's good. Yeah.
No, we have to go through the process of dealing with stuff so that it can be healed properly. So you can be good overall. You know? Yeah.
I like what you said about that. Like when things bump into it, like if it's not clean, if it's not healed, it's going to hurt all over again.
Absolutely.
If not worse, right?
Absolutely.
Like I'm just imagining someone with a broken bone, not placing their broken bone in a cast or like, because it being said, let me tell you something. My cousin Trevina, she broke her ankle one time and she explained how they like had to put the ankle back in place and she was numb so she didn't feel it but I just imagine the pain afterwards must have been awful. But if they hadn't done that to her ankle she probably would not be walking,
right?
right?
Yeah.
But like if you're walking on a bum ankle,
Yeah.
it's gonna hurt so you're still gonna experience that pain in little dosages.
Yeah.
But instead of just like setting aside time, let me actually go through this. It's like that the bear song. We're going on a bear hunt. I keep going back to this. Listen, what I learned in elementary school has not left me. Okay, we're going on a bear hunt. We would all sit in a circle and like play the song together. We're going through the grass. We can't go over it. We can't go under it. We must go through it. Well, it's the same thing.
No, it's true. Yeah.
Am I?
No,
Okay.
it's true. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, anyway. So we're on to the second verse, y'all. My bad. Make sure y'all not saying nothing. Sorry. Can't anger be used for good? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think that's the beautiful thing about anger.
Yeah.
Like if it's used correctly, if you have the management of the emotions effectively, you can understand why am I angry. Yeah, you can use that energy because really all emotions and feelings is energy. Is energy and information. But we need to know how to manage that energy and comprehend that information so that it can be utilized effectively.
Yeah.
So yeah, anger can 100%.
Absolutely.
Just like joy can be too. Happiness, like all the extremes, every emotion can be used in a good and useful way if you know how to do that.
And I think to that point of like what's good, it's like I think what happens if people have a toxic idea of what goodness is, right? People that they call, oh, you're just a pot stirrer, or you're always angry, or you always got something to say, right? We need people like that.
100%. 100%.
Because everybody not gonna say it. Because some people are afraid.
Yeah.
Right? Like we need pot stirrers.
Yeah.
We need people to be like, this is not normal.
Yeah, no,
right?
that's good.
We need people who are confrontational.
Yeah.
Like, so all these, like, again, to me that's leaning more towards like toxic positivity. Just, let's, coexist. And on some level I'm like, yes, but also like, but we can also say when something is harmful.
Absolutely.
And because people's pride, their pride is hurt when someone corrects them. We all feel it. Nobody likes to be corrected or told that they're doing something wrong or you said this wrong or whatever. Yeah. So, but you have two ways to respond to it. It's like, oh, I never considered that. Let me actually consider what I just said.
Yeah.
Or you could be like, no, you're just always trying to start stuff. You always argumentative and da-da-da. And it's like, but sweetie, no one's arguing with you, right? But you're being confronted about something that can change and we're all human. So yes.
I like that when you said the pot stirrer because the image came to mind. Like if you're cooking like a stew, and like depending on the type of pot you have, if you don't stir it, it'll burn. The bottom will burn. Like it won't cook evenly. So you need something to agitate and actually stir the pot so that things could effectively. If you don't, it's just gonna burn, cook unevenly, and be stagnant.
Yes,
that's not good. So
appreciate that. I love that visual. I know that's right. I got 2 packs waiting for me at break. The Wiz included with Amazon Prime. Yes, for the next 9 days. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Love Letters to Self. I always love your name.
Yeah, definitely go watch it.
Yes. Right. It can be a tool to do, it can be a tool to get to the reason of the anxiety. Yes. It can be a tool to get to the reason of the anxiety and possibly do something about it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So there is hope for unlimited joy. But what are the traumatic knots that are lodged in your spirit body? Ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to get a massage and stretch. Hi, Jenner's Listens. Welcome.
Hi.
Happy that you're here. Yes. Tiffany Ross. Hi, Tiffany Ross. The Wiz is my go-to movie when I feel icky. Yeah. Since it's about going home, I remind myself that I am my own home.
That's good.
No matter where I am or how I feel, and that I am good enough and good for me. I love that.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I love that. And yes, you are your own first home.
Absolutely.
You're your own first community. Yes, Jamiel, no Neosporin or nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm the same way. If you put it to music, I'll remember it forever. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
I feel like there are like ways that people learn. I feel like that's one of the ways, isn't it?
With your music?
Yeah,
like, absolutely. I mean, we do that all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
that's true.
Why do you know the deals at fast food places?
Yeah.
Because they use jingles to
that's
teach you. Like the music is an amazing.
It works.
Yeah, that can be a whole other.
Yeah. Yay, hearts. Yay, yes. The Wiz is just like, oh, it feels so good. Wingwell 500 says, you always need that one blunt, tell it like it is, friend. You do.
Yeah.
You do. And hopefully if they know you, and that's the thing about building relationships. Like I have, shout out to Marcus. Marcus is one of the bluntest people I know. Marcus, my friend.
Yeah.
Not Jamiel. Marcus, he will tell you like it is, but he'll do it in love.
Yeah.
Based on who he's talking to, because everybody don't receive the message the same way.
Yeah.
And that takes learning, that takes love.
Yeah.
To learn how your friends take information. Oh, no worries, girl. No worries at all. I misspell stuff all the time. Yes, you are your own home. Oh, snap. Didn't see the first 2 paragraphs I wrote.
Yeah,
oh, no. Didn't? Hold on. Let me go back.
Is it those?
Is this one? Oh, yes. Okay, yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
My bad. I'm sorry. Not that Vashti brought up a key word about this, glasses help.
Yeah.
Help see. About this talk on emotions. Release. Mm-hmm. Yes. Release is a top priority when it comes to healing. For example, my school says that everyone has the nature of deep love in them. However, that nature is simply being covered and obscured by blockages and traumas. When you release, the source of anger, ease automatically manifests. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's good. Yeah.
And I 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
Jamiel took me one time to a rage room.
Oh, yeah. I was like, where did I take you? What happened?
Right, what happened?
Yeah, go ahead.
But he took me to a rage room, and it's like those rooms where you break stuff, and you're throwing stuff, and I've never been able to do anything like that. I've never been able to I'm just not I don't know if I'm a very violent person in general, but I'm like, oh, I'm not supposed to break that. Yeah. When I tell you nothing was precious in there, they're like, destroy everything. Yeah. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
It felt like, first of all, it was a workout, but it also felt like, okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I needed to get that rage out of my body.
Yeah.
So yes. Let's see. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. Hi, Glam for breakfast. No worries, you're right on time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
We usually go live at 7. We went at 6 because Jamiel was off today. So, Hello, we don't care about no grammar. No. Nothing. We gonna, listen, I'm gonna try. Because even when y'all write it correctly, I still be struggling. You know what I mean? So it's fine.
It's funny.
It's fine. Okay, let's go back. All right, so we said, what would I do if I could reach inside of me and to know how it feels to say, I like what I see? Then I'd be more than glad to share all that I have inside of here. And the songs my heart might bring, you'd be more than glad to sing. Okay. All right. When they get to this part, I just want to start crying. I do.
Yeah.
Anyway, but did you have anything for that section?
You can go ahead. I'm still mulling over
No worries. No worries. So I said to myself, can you imagine not being able to connect with things on an emotional level? Right? Even the sentimental stuff, the songs, you know what I'm saying? Just have no connection emotionally to anything.
Yeah.
I go outside and the trees make me want to cry. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I mean? The wind, the clouds, it's there's so much beauty out there. And I feel like even being able to perceive and appreciate beauty takes emotion. There's an emotional connection you have
absolutely
with that thing. Yeah. Yeah. Did you have something?
No, I was going to say, I agree with that. Because even for you as a musician and as an artist, I think it's part of the artistic gift to be able to experience emotions and to be able to convey them so that other people can attach to them.
Yes.
Because I find it really interesting that if you hear a song that you can't relate to, you may not enjoy it.
Yeah.
So, say you are somebody's listening to heartbreak music or whatever, going through a breakup and the person is crying or whatever, and they're expressing that. If you've never gone through that, you can't fully appreciate the song.
That's real.
And so all of that's necessary. You do. I'm agreeing with you that that emotionality and being open to that is important for you to have these experiences and these shared experiences. And that's good. Yeah.
I agree with you, because I think even one of the notes that I wrote down was my favorite songs convey so much emotion. It's not even about the technicality. It's not, I mean, the technical skill. It's not about, they running all over the song. It's not even about what chords they use. I mean, sometimes, yes, it is, because even with songs with no words, you can still feel the emotion.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's still something, there's still something to it. And I think that when, like you said, when that person is vulnerable in their music, right? When they're availing themselves and peeking into their, when you know that they mean what they're talking about or singing about, right? Or rapping about or whatever the heck, there's a connection that happens because it's real, it's authentic. Yeah. You're vulnerable listening to it, they're vulnerable sharing, and that connection is made. Yeah. And I think that people are way more forgiving with music when, or anything, honestly, when they can feel it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, I feel that. Like there's a song, again, the song, The Story by Brandi Carlile. And it's one of my favorite songs. In that song, and I've talked about the song before, but her voice breaks.
Yeah.
Like it literally sounds like she's crying while she's singing it.
Yeah.
And people would say like, record that again.
Right.
Do that again.
Right, yeah.
She kept that in there.
Yeah.
Because it's honest, it's authentic. And when I hear that, it gives me chills. I'm getting chills thinking, look at my arm. I'm getting chills thinking about that song because it's so vulnerable and it's so emotional and it's so real.
Yeah.
But yes, so I said those small emotional highs and lows and tender feelings, like a smile from a friend or a loved one, like that, feeling that, like, oh, I love when they smile, I love when they laugh, right? And then like that bittersweet you feel when that person is no longer living, right? Like that emotional tie that you have with them and those experiences, like we all know what that bittersweet feeling. I feel like I'm about to cry. We all know what that bittersweet feeling feels like when you think of someone you loved who has passed on.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's like, you're like, I'm never gonna hear them laugh again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the finality of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I think that that's not a fun feeling, but it's also beautiful because I still have that emotional tie to that and that emotional connection.
Yeah.
If I wasn't being vulnerable, if I wasn't being vulnerable enough with them, then I would never be able to appreciate those things. And so, you know, when you're talking about loving somebody, or being in relationship with, even if it's just like friends, right? Like there's risk involved because we know that life is not forever. Yeah. Right? And so when you're choosing to be vulnerable with someone, to love someone, there is such a trust and it's such a, it's a covenant. Like it really, like when you're in a friendship with somebody, it's a covenant, which is why like we talked about this last night. You're giving, somebody said this before and I was like, that's profound. You're giving someone the opportunity to hurt you if they wanted to, but trusting that they won't.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And so that's scary. That's scary to say, here I am in all myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm trusting that you're gonna love me. I'm trusting you're gonna care for me.
Yeah.
Whether romantic or whatever, like platonic. You know, but being able to do that is a strength. Yeah. It's scary.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's brave to be able to be like, I am gonna be who I am. I'm gonna take up space and I'm gonna trust that you don't hurt me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Sorry. I mean, I'm not sorry.
No,
I cry. But you know, there is something to that, and I feel like those feelings we're supposed to feel. We're supposed to feel that tenderness and that bittersweetness towards people who are no longer here, or even people who are alive that you may not be in relationship with anymore. Yeah. Right? Like I think it's, you know, it's like the competition, like who can be the most aloof and who could be the least feeling. Like this competition, like, oh, I don't care about none, like that makes, like, first of all, you're lying. You do care because you're telling me that you don't care. Like, okay. But also like you're just scared. And I understand that. Find the people that you're safest with. Yes. So I was saying that he has, the Tin Man has feelings that are trapped inside of him. He's literally stuck. Like when they find the Tin Man, he's laying on his back, stuck. And he can't feel his emotions. And I imagine like, I'm not a Tin Man, obviously, but I imagine you stuck in a position for years. When you stretch, I'm sure it's painful at first, right? Like it's, you know what I mean? And I really feel like that happens with feelings. It's like, oh, what is love? Feeling love. And again, that fear of like, I'm afraid, and I felt this about us, like about you. Like I felt like, oh, I'm afraid to love him because what if he leaves? Or what if he dies? What am I do then? Right? Like, and you know, obviously people die, but it's still, it doesn't take away the pain of it. But I don't want to live in fear, stuck, in chains, because I'm afraid to feel. Because the beauty of life is that life has a wide range of emotions. And again, it makes it beautiful, right? Like the depth, the deep, like when you look at a painting, I don't know, I'm looking at my mouse pad. Yeah. So my mouse pad, I don't know if y'all can see this. I love the stars, right? So I got this mouse pad and it's like, there's a deep color, right? And people would say like the dark is like the bad feelings and like the light is like the good feelings. But that contrast
it's necessary.
Is necessary. If everything was dark, it would just be black.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And if everything was light, it would just be, oh, it's just white. Okay.
Yeah.
But that contrast, I feel like that contrast happens in our lives.
Yeah.
And we're running away from it. It's like, no, this is what makes it beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, that's how you get into the places of the toxic positivity or
Yes.
anything like that. Or again,
negativity.
Or the extremes of like no feelings at all. So you have like people who are like super joyous and other people are like, I don't feel anything, like Spock, like whatever, but like that's not what we weren't designed for that.
Yeah.
And again, being forced to either one of those extremes gets rid of that beauty.
Yeah.
Gets rid of that contrast, because like everything that we experience in life has those.
Yeah.
Like I guess it's considered like a law of polarity, like ups and downs, highs and lows, all this stuff. So you think about music, you think about art, photography, everything. Like photography only works because of the light and dark. Music only works because you have notes and silence.
Rests. You need rest.
Yeah, you have to have like all of that. It all works together.
Yeah.
And if we are being forced to either end, we're limiting our experience.
Yeah.
And those extremes are both like prisons.
Yeah.
Places that we shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let me see what y'all saying. Sorry, y'all.
I'll be sharing deep stuff in there.
I know. Listen, I love y'all.
Yeah.
Let's see. LOL songs, yes, because that's the only way I still know all the presidents. Okay, shout out to you. Music is so healing. I agree. P.S. Song recommendation, Take 6. Come unto me, let it feed you. Ooh, let me write that down. Thank you. Excuse me. Nature is a part of God's music. Absolutely.
That's good. I like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. It can be thunderous and scary. It can be ominous, and it can also be beautiful and cheery. I love listening to the birds sing.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. There was this a few years ago, this like sound design person or whatever, they captured like a forest with like grasshoppers or crickets or whatever, and they slowed it down. And so the way it sounds like a symphony. So like when you hear it, normally it's just like, whatever, the cricket sounds that you hear or whatever. But when you slow it down, it moves in a certain way that's just really, it's almost eerie, but it's beautiful at the same time. And like, I can't imagine, like God hears all that stuff the way it's supposed to sound. Like for us, some things that we hear, we see as annoyances. Yeah. So like, even the buzzings of bees. But even for bees, dancing, music, and the buzz, the sounds that they make all matter. Yes. And they play an important role. Yeah. And so I agree with that. I think it's beautiful. Yeah.
I gotta hear that next time.
Yeah, I gotta find it.
Yes. It's all about the emotion. Absolutely. Aw, Themis. Appreciate it. Yeah. Not that Vashi, not sure. For sure. Yeah. Jamiel. They have studies that show that if you listen to sad music when you're sad, you resonate with it and it makes you feel better. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
It's just like when, again, going back to that toddler example, or even as an adult, right? When I'm sad, when I'm feeling heavy, we talked about this last night. My mom always knows. Even when I'm trying to hide it, I'm like, I'm fine.
Something's wrong.
So she's like, something's wrong.
Right.
And she'll ask me, and I fall to a million pieces. Yeah. If she says, what's wrong? And I'm just like, she's like everything is horrible. Right? And so in that moment, like I'm sweating, I'm crying, I'm like snotting, and my mom's holding me. Yeah. But after that moment, I feel better. Yeah. Because it's out now. It's not like stuck, like trying to, So again, I think about like when you tell a child, when they're like, they fall and they scrape their knee, and you're telling them not to cry, that's not going to help heal them. What is you can go, oh, I'm so sorry. You want me to give you kisses on your boo-boo? Yeah. Like, even though it doesn't, do anything, but it does something. Yeah. To have your feelings recognized by other people. Yeah.
I think one point before we go into it, I've been looking at the line from the second stanza or whatever. It says, what would I do if I could reach inside of me? And I think what you just said really resonates with that, because it's the idea of like we have all these things pent up inside of us, but we struggle to let them out. And like in this whole stanza that he's talking about, like how can I take all these things out and share them, even whether they're good or bad. And like in there he's talking about like sharing the joy, the things that he likes, or even just songs from his heart, and how that can make other people glad. Like he's trying to pull and pour out all of that stuff. So I think it's good. And like what you were just saying, or just in general, that resonance that comes with sharing and vulnerability, and how powerful it is.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Vulnerability is very powerful, and
Yeah.
and it's freeing, and it's a permission slip for other people to be vulnerable too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And as somebody who struggles with anxiety sometimes, I'd be like, did I overshare? I like sometimes
Yeah.
I leave conversations like, did I say too much or whatever?
Yeah.
But then I'm like, do I regret sharing what I shared? No.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Well
yeah.
then.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, what happens is sometimes people are uncomfortable with my vulnerability, and I'm just like, the person I am, tell me everything. I want to connect.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
I don't like small talk. And I feel like, not that I really care about the introvert versus extrovert kind
Yeah.
of thing, but they say like introverts prefer, like, they don't prefer
Yeah.
small talk. I don't. I want to get to the heart of everything.
Deep end. Let's go.
Let's go in the deep end immediately.
Yeah.
But I understand that that doesn't feel safe to everybody,
Yeah.
which is why I try to tone it down.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to feel, I don't want someone to feel unsafe.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
haven't earned their vulnerability.
Right.
You feel
Yeah.
me? So, anyway, but yes. Yes, okay. So I said what you just said. By getting in contact with his feelings, he'll heal, but he'll also be able to gift others from his pain and help them heal as well.
Yeah.
Again, as a highly sensitive person, this resonated with me so much. Yes, and I said my favorite songs convey so much emotion, not about the skill, but about the feeling. The feeling of the song.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have anything to add to the stanza?
Not
Or
to the
this-
stanza. I know you were looking at the comments, so I
Oh,
just wanted
yes.
to go
Thank
back
you.
to the comments.
Thank you
before
so much. This is why this is helpful.
Yeah.
Let's see. Exactly. Yes, it's based in trust. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, it's supposed to be. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hi, back to the neutral. Do you think there's still a level of discernment to use even with
close friends?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For myself personally, I'm grateful that I have friends at this point in my life that I can be all of myself with. I can be a mess. I can be wrong even, and they can call me out on it. And I don't feel attacked.
Yeah.
And I can call them on their stuff too. But there was a time where I didn't use discernment. And I was like, oh, you're my friend, or we're connected because of this experience, or we're connected because of this time, or whatever.
Yeah.
That at some point I was like, oh, actually, you're not a safe place.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not a safe person.
Yeah.
And it's not even a call out, but it's like, you're not even a safe person to yourself.
Yeah.
And so if you can't be a safe person to yourself, meaning you won't even allow yourself to feel feelings.
Yeah.
So what I look like bringing my complicated feelings to you, like, and overwhelming you, because you're not going to get it. You're not going to understand it. But then in the reverse, because I was so feeling, and I felt bitter about this for a minute, but I don't feel bitter about it now. I used to feel bad that there was no space for my emotions. There was always space for theirs. I was their dumping ground.
Yeah.
Like, whenever they had a problem, they can come to me.
Yeah.
I'm going to listen. I'm going to give you love. I'm going to try to help you with whatever, but it wasn't given in return.
Yeah.
And I think I'm not bitter about that anymore because they didn't have it to give.
Right.
You feel me? Like,
Yeah.
there's grace. It's almost like I feel sorry for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've always been very in tune and in touch with my emotions. And some people just aren't. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yes.
Emotional intelligence in general is a skill.
It is a skill.
It's something that has to be developed and taught. Yeah.
For sure. Thema says, not only necessary, but also beautiful. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. The Dark Knight says, ooh, y'all just reminded me of something crucial I went through, and I haven't told many people about this, but y'all are family. Yes. Going back to when I was homeless, a big part of my pain was, hold on one second. Oh, wait. Okay. You're going to repost it. Okay,
Okay.
cool. That's fine. Hi, Stephanie. Welcome. Stephanie Perry. Every time I watch The Wiz, I feel like I'm a different character. Yeah. It's beautiful that the Tin Man knew what he was missing and asked for help. Yes, slide some oil to me. Absolutely. It is a good song.
Yeah.
And yes, I think that's the beautiful thing about The Wiz is like, watching it as an adult, right?
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, yo,
Nuggets. What?
the messages in this movie are crazy. Like, yes, it's entertaining, it's
Yeah.
fun, it's beautiful,
Yeah.
it's it's black, it's blackety black,
Very.
which I appreciate.
Yeah,
but it's also
absolutely.
it's almost like feeding you information, encouragement, upliftment
Yeah.
through entertainment. So you don't even realize it's happening. It's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
huh. But when
Yeah.
when we listen to the words, and we had, as an adult now, I put the
The
words,
captions on you.
the captions on the bottom of the screen. I can't watch nothing with no
No.
captions. But I'm
Yeah.
reading the words and I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Even the scene, and we'll probably do one about this too. But the scene where it's like, you've got to be, well, wouldn't be caught dead.
Oh, when they get the Oz?
Yeah, when they get to Oz, and they're like, la na, na, and they're walking down with all the colors.
Yeah.
It's about capitalism. It's about consumerism.
Yeah.
Like he's basically saying, there was a line in the thing, and we'll get back to this to the song. Yeah. But there's a line in the movie or in that scene where they say, don't let them know that you haven't paid your rent. Don't let them know that you're struggling.
Yeah.
But as long as you look good, that's all that matters. And I'm like, yo.
Right.
Okay. Anyway.
How many people caught that?
How many people caught that? I never understood. I was like, oh my God, they just look nice. But anyway. But yes, agreed. Agreed. Again, the lion being afraid, the scarecrow like doubting his wisdom. The scarecrow the whole time was the wisest. But I guess that's the whole point. Yeah. It's like it's been inside of you all along. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just like home was in Dorothy all along. Yeah. But yes. Okay. I think of the yin and yang sign too, within the dark, a little light, and vice versa. Balances everything. Yeah. Yay. Wingwood 500 says, best way to learn the presidents, listen to the Animaniacs song. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to be honest, y'all. I didn't like the Animaniacs growing up. I'm so sorry. Okay. This is a safe place. Did not like it at all. But I think it's because I didn't understand it. They had a lot of adult jokes in there. And I'm like, what? Yeah. I don't get it. Yeah. It's just a lot of slapstick, which isn't that's not my kind of humor. I got to edit my, yeah. No worries. Yes, my mom always knew when I was troubled. Yes.
It's that mom sense.
It's that mom sense. It's like, something's wrong. And I'd be having an attitude, be like, I'm fine.
Right.
No, you're not. Allowing the process to heal through which the necessity to cry is great. Yeah, absolutely. Yay. Hey, Stephanie Perry, just put someone. Yay, yes, please share the love.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
You're dropping knowledge.
Yes. Me too. I hate smoke. Me too. I'm like, tell me everything. Yeah. And then I leave the conversation like, did I say too much? But still had a great time. Yeah. Patricia says, hi, Patricia. Recently, my energy was low and speaking to me. I tuned into some classic R&B music. I was recharging immediately. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like small talk is only bad when people you have no chemistry with try to do it with you. That's okay. Yeah. I can see that. Because small talk is also enjoyable with people I love. Okay. I can see that. Hey, do you have a podcast I can listen to? Oh, thank you for asking. And I do have a podcast. Absolutely. It's called The Love Letter Project. It's basically audio versions of my YouTube channel, but I'm trying to venture out into like making separate podcast episodes, and I'll be sharing them here too. But yes. Yeah. Yay. Yazzie, my daughter told her friends that they had to ask her before they dumped on her. That's good. That's really good. Yeah. She told them that they need to ensure she can handle it. Absolutely. Yeah. For sure. Yeah. I love that she knows that.
Absolutely. Yeah. I was saying.
Because me, I'm like, okay, right. It's my job to. No, it's not. Yeah. Right. It's imperative to observe how people treat themselves. Absolutely.
That's good.
Because that's going to give you an idea of how they might treat you. Yeah. Again, going back to scripture. Yeah. Love others how you love yourself. Mm-hmm. And so when people are loving others like they love themselves, if they don't love themselves and they're loving others, they're not wrong.
No, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, so they're not wrong, but it's up to us to be like, you know what, I don't like the way, and this is of course not saying, because some people will take that, but I trust y'all. Like, but yeah, like if this person is not kind to themselves or whatever, just be leery. Like just be careful. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't careful at all. Hey, Jessica Jess, welcome. Yes. Oh, yay. Hi, thanks, Sublime. This is a great topic. Awesome. That makes me happy. Okay. All right. Did you have anything to add to that last one? Okay. So let's share the screen again. Okay. All right. And this is my favorite part of the whole song. And if tears should fall from my eyes, just think of all the wounds that they could mend. And just think of all the time I could spend just being vulnerable again. Right? Like, tell me what? So yes. Okay. So this is my favorite part of the whole song, right? Honestly, because yes. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, I mean, the whole song is like a build up to this part, obviously. Like even musically it's building up to that, but I feel like the message too is building up to that. Yeah. And so, and if the tears should fall from my eyes, just think of all the wounds they could mend, right? Because again, we're trying to avoid feeling, but again, feeling is the way that you mend the wounds, right? And also seeing once it's beautiful when you're in a group of people and one person breaks emotionally, and again, it gives people permission to break too.
Yeah.
It gives people, because I know people like, I don't want to break. Like that is the end of something. I feel like breaking is the beginning. Like breaking,
absolutely.
We need, like, sometimes we need to break. Sometimes we need to fall apart.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Sometimes we need to lose our ish, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there's beauty in breaking.
Yeah.
And I think, again, when he says, if the tears should fall from my eyes, and at that point it's breaking, right? It's falling over like the precipice of your eyelids. It's like, oh, it's coming out, and it's like, that's how you heal. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Go ahead, sorry. You can go ahead first.
I was just okay. No,
did I just put it on you?
No,
Okay.
they're fine. Like I like this because I think it's foreshadowing, and you don't even know it because like later in the movie, Dorothy and the lion, they get, once they go through the poppy
poppies.
field, they go through the what was it? I forget what it's called, but it's like a club. Almost they give you the vibe. It's like it's a club. But
I feel like it's drugs.
Yeah, exactly. I think it definitely was drugs. But they go through the poppy field and they fall asleep or whatever, and his tears woke them up. So like the idea that his vulnerability and all this stuff actually healed.
Yeah.
It did what he said it was. And if tears should fall from my eyes, just think of all the wounds that they could mend.
Yeah.
And also like, to me, the thing that really stood out about this and with the whole song is, along with that picture of what his tears do, is that for me, how I internalize it or I process it is it's like why it's so important for Black men to be vulnerable, because our vulnerability, our tears, our emotion and stuff like that is actually healing. And not only for ourselves, but also for our community. Like you just said about the idea of breaking and being able to show other people that it's okay, and to give space to be human. And I think which is why I do the beneficial Black man thing, because I feel like one of the biggest detriments to our community is men not being healthy, particularly with their mental and their emotional health. Like, other men need you to be healthy.
Yes.
Other men need to see you being whole, see you being vulnerable, see you being a comprehensive man. If I'm using Jason Wilson's thing, like that's necessary. Sons need to see their fathers processing things, healing through things, grieving, being joyous, being expressive. Other men need to see that, and I think even women need to see that too. Like, sure, if you make money and stuff like that, great, whatever. But I need to know that you feel too.
Yeah.
I need to know that you're passionate about something. I need you to be expressive. I need you to communicate those things. And a lot of the wounds that I think exist in our community come from us not doing that, like not doing that work and being stuck in that trauma, being indoctrinated by a toxic culture that keeps us from just being whole. And like it's necessary. Like in the movie, him shedding those tears helped. It healed. It woke them up. Like we
Literally.
need that. Like we need that. Like we know that generally speaking, Black women express themselves. They communicate, they talk, like they help facilitate an environment for themselves. But we have, as men, I would say in our community, like I think it's been taken from us and we're keeping it from ourselves by not actually making that space and doing that work and being vulnerable. And like it's necessary. It's necessary for us to make the changes that we want to see in our community. Like we have to be vulnerable. We have to get out of, I think Jason Wilson calls it like emotional incarceration. Like we have to get out of that prison so that we can heal. We can use these tears. We can use whatever that needs to come out so that things can get better. So that's what really stood out to me.
No, that's good. There was something you just said. Hold on. I know. Bring it back. Bring it back. Yes. When you're talking about the community needs to see men breaking, right? And again, obviously, even that thought that is triggering, right? See me breaking. They'll never see me break, right? Because we were broken. Right? Like, and so you never want to go back to being broken. Like, but at the same time, it's like, But if they have your soul, meaning your emotions,
Yeah.
you are broken.
Yep.
And I don't mean broken as in like, you know, you can't be repaired or like you need to be fixed.
Yeah.
I mean broken like there's something broken. Like you're literally not, like it goes to your heart and it stays there.
Yeah.
It doesn't come out unless it comes out in a violent way or in, you know what I'm saying? Like, so even like thinking about my own family, I only see my uncles cry at funerals.
Yeah.
And when they cry, they cry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
and I feel like low key, they're really big softies for real.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
let them hear me say that. But I think they're really big softies. But like, I've never seen them cry except for at funerals. And so I feel like when they're at that funeral, I feel like they're allowing however many years of sorrow, pain, thinking about the memories with that person, like come up and out, like the love they have. Because, you know, we tell each other we love each other. Like, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like me and my mom are kind of, you know, me and my mom, my Aunt Jackie, and some other people, whatever, are kind of different. Like, and we're like, no, I love you. I love you. Thank you. Thank you for, like, I appreciate you. Like, and they'll try to, like, you know, make a joke and kind of wriggle out. No, like, I see you. I see you and I appreciate you. And I feel like for them, like, that is the only safe place that they found is at those funerals. And I just wish, like, there's so much depth to my uncles that I feel like I'll never know because I feel like they don't want to be vulnerable. And there's wisdom we're missing out on. There's, you know what I'm saying? Like there's so much because they're gatekeeping, or it has been gatekept. I mean, also understanding that my uncles grew up in a different time, so that's a different conversation. But like, I just want so badly for them to be like, to come out and to be all themselves, and like, I don't see you as weak. I'm not the one you have to protect yourself from. You feel me? So go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's good. You can go ahead.
Okay, let me go to the comments. Let's see. Okay, somebody said it. Animated. It was chaotic.
Yes.
It was too much for me. I was overstimulated. I'm like, what is happening? Oh well. Shout out to y'all. Listen, Jamal liked it too. Let's see. AI. Tell me more. Oh, hi, Tell. Welcome. Hi. YouTube is playing with y'all volume. Oh, no. Okay, got it straight now. What? Hi, welcome. We're happy that you're here. Gen Z really on top of their game when it comes to emotions. Yes. Wish I had their knowledge when I was trying to be a gangster in 8th grade. I don't mean to laugh, but yes. Yes, same. Yeah. I wish that I knew that it was safe to be emotional. Yes. And I'm glad 100%. That Gen Z is like, actually, I mean, I feel like that's how it's supposed to be. Whatever generation they came from, like, or they come after, I feel like the generation is supposed to be better. You know what I'm saying? Or at least it's ideal that they have a greater starting point than what we had. So I'm grateful that Gen Z has like the wisdom, the knowledge, the emotional like vocabulary even to be like, oh, you're gaslighting me. Oh, my glasses. You're gaslighting me. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know what that was back then.
Not I don't even know if that existed. Like, I feel like a lot of the terms and stuff that we have now, even the idea of like emotional intelligence.
Yeah, I never heard that.
What?
Nah.
Emotional intelligence.
I never heard that. And then they would just boil it down to, you're just aggressive. Or you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. Sandra, oh, thank you. I was trying to channel my inner Nipsey Russel. Trying. That word vulnerability is key. I think this is the main word we really need to pay attention to. For example, has anyone ever remembered a time where you held on to keeping up a certain appearance, trying so hard to hold on top of something, but once you got to a point where you no longer cared and allowed yourself to just let it go, not caring who sees, you felt the greatest ease in the world. Yes, absolutely. This brings into question, what are we currently not being vulnerable about? Great question. What would it feel like if we were able to be vulnerable about everything? What that kind of healing and freedom would look like. First of all, I think it would be beautiful. But anyway, imagine friends being able to release with no fear of caring what other people think. I believe that in itself could lead to a spiritual revolution. Absolutely. I 100% agree with you, because a lot of the ills in society are based in people not being vulnerable or not being honest about how they really feel. Right. You know what I mean? Like, again, hate to talk about them, but y'all know who I'm talking about. Like this fear, this fear mongering of like, you're gonna die alone and you're just a leftover woman, and it's like, who are you trying to convince? Me or you? Huh? Because I'm fine, sweetie. Like you're trying to sell fear because you're afraid.
Absolutely.
You're afraid of being alone. You want me to lower my view of myself because you can't see the view in you can't see the value in yourself. And so if you think that you're down here, me loving myself and taking care of myself is going to look like I'm looking down on you. But what I'm really saying is you can love yourself too. What? I had this interaction on Twitter. This guy came for me when Meg Thee Stallion's, the case was, first of all, it wasn't even her case, but I'm glad that the truth came out. And so I said, Black women have it really hard in this country. It's really irritating because this has been years and people have been doubting her story and trying to find holes in it, and just frustrated me to no end that people could not believe that a person who raps about killing people, hurting people, harming people, hurt somebody. What are we missing? So anyway, I'm gonna get frustrated all over again. But he basically said, my sole goal in life is to humble Black women. What a horrible and sad goal for your life.
And you're going to fail.
And you're going to fail. Because humble Black women where? How? No, you need me to humble. And the thing is, you don't want me to humble myself. Because even me, let's be real, there's a thing called humble bragging or even fake humility. No, stand in you did that thing. What's not humble about that? With accepting compliments and saying thank you or, being proud of yourself. What's wrong with that? It's because you're not proud of yourself. You want me to lower my standards and my ideas of myself because you don't love yourself. And so I feel like whenever I hear this rhetoric or these things used, it's like, you're broken. Someone hurt you. Somebody hurt you and you never went to therapy. You never got help. And now this is the prison you live in. You spend hours upon hours of your day streaming online about women you say that you hate. You don't hate us. You envy us. That's what's really happening, right? But again, that's an aside. But I feel like the world that we would live in would be less harmful if people could just be honest and be like, how do I get what you have? How do I start to love myself better? How do I start to take care of myself? How do I form communities with other men where I can be vulnerable like you women can be vulnerable? That's the questions you should be asking, not asking me to humble myself. The issue is not humility. The issue is your lack of self-worth and value. It's plain as day. Don't play me. You can't play me. So anyway. I feel very passionate about that.
Okay.
Very passionate.
That's all right.
But yes. So sorry, let me go back to let me finish the chat. Let me gather myself. Let's see, go back up. I think
you did those already.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Hi, Jenners. There is beauty in breaking. Absolutely. There is. There is. It's relief, too, when you break. When things fall apart, even though, and I'm learning this for myself, when things fall apart, even the things that you didn't want to fall apart, sometimes you realize that you were carrying too heavy of a load in the first place. And nobody's supposed to sit with their emotions. That's too heavy. It's too heavy. Break so you can heal. A lot of times it's easy. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. What'd I miss?
Just read that one.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. That one.
Okay, yes. I've always seen that movie as so deep and symbolic of life. Absolutely. Oh, it's genius. It's genius. And the spin on it that the Black folks did with the Wiz. I'm here for it.
Absolutely.
A lot of times it's easy to miss how the way people treat themselves is parallel to how they treat those outside of themselves. Because it's easy to believe that's impossible to do. I hope that makes sense. It makes perfect sense. And I agree. 100%. Stephanie says it really is a prison. It is. It is. Culturally imposed, but when you have the ability to be like, oh, actually, let me step outside. It's safe. It might be painful at first, but it's safe. Vulnerability is a 4-letter word for many people. Yes, you have to be discerning, but opening up to someone you can heal both of you possibly. Absolutely. Absolutely. Sheesh, what's in the dark will eventually come to light, but don't let it be in a way that will destroy you. Listen, the truth is going to come out either way. And what you said about destroying you, quite literally, a lot of people are dying from and obviously this is not an ableist conversation. Not saying that everybody who is sick is angry or not processing. Right. That's not what I'm saying. But a lot of people are holding in their emotions and dying of heart attacks, strokes, right? Developing heart diseases, cancers, we really got to be careful that we're not harboring these feelings that are supposed to be processed. They're not supposed to live in you. Your body's not meant to handle all that stress. It will literally kill you. Literally. Yep, it's healed both me and my mother. Oh, yeah, we both released decades of pain and anger, and it truly freed us. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. And sometimes, like, you got to have hard conversations with people you love. I'm not saying that this is what happened, but sometimes, like, that conversation you're avoiding, in order to move forward, like I said, you got to talk about it.
Yeah.
Like, everything ain't cute. It don't feel good all the time, but it's necessary.
Yeah.
When a gangster thug sheds tears, they come out as bullets. Ooh.
Yeah.
Heavy.
Yeah.
Heavy and true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that I had to, I mean, on some level, okay, I had to sit with myself, even how I think about, like, violence in Black communities or underserved. On some level, it's like, yes, it's poverty, it's lack of resources and lack of, but on some level, it's also lack of self-control. And when I see men doing stuff like that, I'm like, that's a little boy who never grew up.
Absolutely.
Who never developed the language to be like, you hurt my feelings. Or who never developed the language to be like, you disrespected me, and that makes me feel like nothing because I'm trying so hard to be something. Right. Or, you know, and obviously I'm not talking about, like, all gang violence, because some of that is, like, territorial, but even then, like, what is at the heart of that? Y'all don't own nothing. What are you talking about territory? Your block. You don't own it. What are you talking about?
I'll say eminent domain says otherwise.
Hello?
So, you know, like,
But, you know, and again, I'm not saying that I'm pro gangster stuff. I don't know nothing about that life. Okay. I know what I read about. I know what I hear from other people. But also, like, what is today was not always too. So I'm careful not to talk about it as a whole, because it's not all the same, but it's still all bad. It's bad. Yes. And because you only see them cry, then it can be scary to watch because they seem so open and vulnerable. Yes. It's like the floodgates just. Releasing. And you know what's interesting? Even I know some Black men specifically, it's interesting to see Black men talk to one another, because it's almost like y'all just want to hug. Just hug. You know what I mean? Like, just tell each other everything. But they'll find vulnerability in other places, like drinking, or, like, for real, like, even being vulnerable with themselves. Or they'll find it in places that aren't the safest, right? When they should be the safe place first. Sorry, you want to say something?
No. I mean, I think that's good. And I think that's something that is necessary to be careful of, because very often people will turn to vices instead of actually dealing with this stuff. And then, like you were saying, like, you know, was it like, I can't remember the saying, but the idea of, like, drunk people tell truths or whatever. I can't remember the saying.
Drunk man tells no lies or
something like that. So, like, you know, when people are in those vices, that's when they feel like that's the only time that they can be expressive. And it's bad, because what you're really trying to get at, which is the vulnerability, which is releasing, being honest, and actually feeling, you're taking such a dangerous way to get there that it actually, and it can actually destroy you. You know, and, like, that's the sucky part. Because I think about, I forget, I feel like we were watching something on YouTube, but talking about, like, guys who go to the strip club or, you know, pay for services. You know,
services.
I can't think of. Like,
I know what you're talking.
You know, the PC or YouTube way I'm supposed to say stuff, but, you know, like, paying for these services that are actually not good, in the sense, like, especially if, say, someone is married, like, going to these,
that's called cheating.
Going to these environments or paying for these services to then just talk.
That happens.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, you're doing these things at the expense of your marriage, your health potentially, because if you're, you know, whatever, just so you can feel. It would be a lot better for you to just, like, actually use valid resources that you don't have to worry about. Either I got to hide it, or I have to do all these things that can actually cause damage to myself. When it, at the heart of it, you really just want to be heard. Or you want to feel, you want to be seen. Because everybody does. Everyone wants to be seen, heard, and understood.
Everybody needs to be seen, heard, and understood.
But because of, again, this culture, this society, having all of these stipulations for what manhood is, or what masculinity is, or whatever, it makes it difficult for you to, like you saying, if you guys just want to hug,
just hug.
And it's like some guys are even, you know,
be apprehensive to that. Like, how I'm gonna dap you. I can't dap you up too long. I can't embrace you too long or whatever. It's like we got to do these things, and it's weird for me because like a lot of my friends, when I see them, I end up hugging them anyway. Like, or even in our circle of friends, like pretty much everybody hugs. Yeah. And then to see guys who aren't like that, and like you try to, it's like, oh, sorry, like like they might like kind of ninja flip you out of like this. It's like, what? Like, oh, I'm sorry. No. Like I didn't, I'm not trying to make you uncomfortable or anything, but like. Realizing that there's a lot of men who have these roadblocks and like this paradigm is like, I can't do these things because I'm going to look a certain way or whatever. Or if I enjoy this hug, then that means something else about me. Like, dude, you like hugs, right? Like you just want to be embraced. Yes. Like, that's okay. It doesn't mean anything about your sexuality or any of that. Like everybody wants to be embraced. If you know you're not gay. Yeah, like it's what's you're not gay. Yeah, like come on. But
and also if you are like and again it's that thought that it's like every interaction has to be transactional. Right. Like every interaction has to be sexual. Yep. Like, and I think that with men specifically, the only time men that I see, and I could be very wrong, when being vulnerable or being affectionate is talking about sex. Like that's it. Like it's not even, oh yeah, I had this deep conversation with my friend and we were talking for hours and it's like, no, like I smashed and whatever, like somehow that's like a level up. I'm thinking about like Super Mario, like taking the mushroom, like that's the same thing. But yeah, I appreciate you sharing that.
I hope it made sense.
Absolutely. I'm like, just hug. Oh my God. But also I want to respect that some people aren't huggers.
I mean,
and I asked, I'm like, are you a hugger? Because I am. And some people aren't. But there's a difference between like, I don't like hugs versus like, oh, I can't be seen hugging anybody. Right. You know what I mean? It has to be a secret. London Link. Well, a lot of millennials are trying to break past curses with new generations. Absolutely. With the new generation, excuse me. Yes, absolutely. This is so good, y'all. Got me thinking that God loves to engage our brokenness. My sacrifice, oh God, is a broken spirit, a broken and contrite heart. You, God, will not despise. Yes. Absolutely. I was frustrated too. Wait. Wow, he admitted that out loud? Who are we talking about?
I missed it.
Hold on, let me remember. Please remind me. Shake my head. Oh, yes. That his sole purpose? Yes. Oh, yeah. I think that's what we're talking about. Yes. Yeah. I'm like, your sole purpose in life is to humble Black women. Seek help, and I mean that with all honesty. Yeah, and like seek help. Yes, he admitted that out loud multiple times, and then whatever.
Yeah, and I think this is just a thought that came to like when people. I don't think people realize the power behind their intentions, and then the words that they say. So like, if you are saying that you're dedicating your soul to something evil, you are enjoy. Yeah, and you're like, I think you are squelching your soul, like soul's purpose. Like,
like the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, what?
The Lord of the Rings. We just started watching Lord of the Rings today. I know nothing about Lord of the Rings, but I'm imagining like the ring turning them evil and stuff.
Oh yeah. But no, but like, I believe that God, the Most High, like our design isn't. Our purpose here with our unique souls isn't supposed to be for destructive things. And so, but you choosing to dedicate that, you're like, I'm going to take this huge infinite thing and I'm going to hone it in and make it very small towards something that is futile. Yeah. Like why would you do that to your soul? And like stuff like that I think really does destroy and diminishes people. Like why are you committing all of your soul towards a negative? Like that will make you sick. That will literally. And I think that could potentially shorten your life. Like if you're saying your whole sole purpose in life is to destroy or humble somebody else, one, you're fighting against the Most High because no, he wants to elevate. He wants to elevate people in general. So now you're trying to fight. Yeah, you're like you're trying to fight against something that is actually beneficial to everything. Yes. Like once you find out that I can't actually win, now you're like, well, I guess my soul is no longer needed. Like why would you do that to yourself? Like I don't know. Sorry, that's a little rant.
No, that's when you were talking, I'm trying to measure my words. Because when you're saying stuff like cutting your life short, I feel like when that person passed away last year, I felt that was judgment. Yeah. And I don't know this man. Yeah. I'm not speaking in absolutes. I'm not speaking like I know everything, but that's what it felt like to me. Like he was shut up. Yeah. You know, like that's the feeling I got. And I mean, some people like it's not that deep, it's not that spiritual. That's how it felt to me. Like I was grieved. Like yes, I mean, whatever. I don't agree with anything he said or did. Y'all know exactly who I'm talking about. Yeah. But like, we don't have to say his name, but I felt like I was grieved because what I wanted was for him to repent and correct himself. Yeah. And I feel like God knew that he wouldn't. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Yeah. Again, I don't wish death on nobody. Yeah. I'm not speaking about stuff I don't know about, but that's just what it felt like. Yeah. It felt like, oof. Yeah. This is judgment. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And a warning. Yeah. To people. And a lot of people in that same sector were getting sick, being hospitalized, right? And I'm just like, because you're so steeped in evil. Yeah. Huh? Yeah. You're trying to destroy other people's lives and you don't think you're drinking that destruction yourself? Right. Mm-hmm. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. Whatever. You like whatever. Yeah. Yeah. Gonna fail. Absolutely. Will fail. Yeah. No other option. Yeah. So he doesn't have any goals. Precisely. I guess because this is not a goal. Yeah. Like what? I mean, but what? Yes, you envy us, and you don't have to envy. You can get like us.
Absolutely, and that
rare. But again, anything that a woman does before men, it's like, oh, that's masculine. Yeah. Huh? Yeah. Please stop this internalized patriarchy and misogyny. Yeah. Like it's killing you, sir. Absolutely. Quite literally, it's killing you. He needs to get some new hobbies. Yes, if humbling black women is his goal, that's really sad. It is. It is. Hey, Jessica Jess. It's the envy for me. Absolutely. Came in late. No worries. You're right on time. Who got our girl on her soapbox preach? Listen, you know it don't take much to get me going. But yeah, I get so get the passion you feel. Yeah, it's so frustrating when people are stuck in their ignorance. Wake up. Absolutely. Absolutely. Living in the hood sucked, especially when you weren't a participant. Yeah. Yeah. I can understand that. I'm not laughing at you, London League, laughing at the laughing. Just hug. Yeah. Just hug. Yeah. Oh my God. Y'all gonna tussle anyway and hug. You might as well just hug. Yes, for the eminent domain. The country owns that corner. And y'all are dying for what? Right. For buildings that are gonna not be here in 50 years anyway? That's wild. Yeah. Yep, this brings up the central source of so many of these issues. The fact that we are afraid of shame, and think that this particular experience is the best we can do. People get afraid and hold onto attachments that they think is the best they can do. Yes. So they do their damnedest to protect themselves and whatever thing they're attached to. Absolutely. This is why spiritual education is important, because if done properly, spiritual education can release someone from feeling like this is all they can do. Yeah. That they're more than the little ego they built up. That the nature God gave them is for greater. Yes. Yeah. At this. Truth. Absolutely. 100%. 100%. Yes. Hug. Hug. There's a read the Bible, that says, be slow to anger, it leads to death. Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yes, be swift to hear, slow to speak, and slow to wrath. Yes, absolutely. 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 Because that's the thing, again, anger is usually like the emotion next. Yeah. When you don't address the hurt, then you get angry. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you can do both. I feel like you could be angry and be hurt, but I do feel like when you're living in that anger, it's like it's unprocessed emotion. Yeah. You know, and again, I'm not a psychologist, so I could be very wrong. I got hugger friend. He cracks me up. Yes. I literally go up to my friends and be like, oh my God, I love you so much. And like, my friends will sit there like, okay, girl. Right. But I just want them to know, like, this could be our last time seeing each other. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not saying that I'm hoping somebody passes away or moves away or whatever the heck, but like, seriously. Yeah.
No, that's true.
Like, I'm going to give you all my love. Yeah. I want you to know that I love you at every meeting, at every gathering. Yeah. Why do I got to hold it back? For what?
No, that's good.
You know, I mean, just, Meg Thee Stallion. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, wait, no.
Oh, did I miss it? Yep. Oh, I keep doing this. I'm sorry. Okay. That's a Western culture thing. Men in other cultures kiss on the cheek and hug fully. Absolutely. Yeah. In other cultures, men hold hands together. It's not a thing. Yeah. Absolutely. Meg Thee Stallion. Yes. That man who passed last year was spreading dangerous doctrines. Absolutely. Yep. That's why I'm like, yo, he was shut up. Yeah. He was shut up. Yeah. He literally advocated for parents to not believe children if children say they're being abused. Absolutely. Okay? This, drinking poison and expecting someone else to die. Precisely. Precisely. Yes, Western men can take lessons from the French and others. Yeah, loosen up a little bit, soften a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Hello. Hi, Janine's World. Welcome. Just coming in. No worries. Big thumbs up. Yay, thank you. Hi, T Auntie. You're plugged into the universe. Keep that energy. Yes, absolutely. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay. All right, last verse.
Okay.
So we did how you operate this thing.
That you had it right.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so, and if the tears should fall from my eyes, just think of all the wounds they could mend. And just think of all the time I could spend just being vulnerable again. Right? And so I said, literally toxin. So we talked about this before. Crying.
Yep.
Like releasing tears is cleansing to your body.
Yeah.
You have to cry. You need to cry. And I said, crying is healing. You heal by feeling. And people are afraid of feeling or showing emotion. Because, the most stoic person is praised. It's almost seen as a weakness to be, we know this. It's seen as a weakness to be vulnerable, to be feeling, right? To be it would be lovely if in a crowd of men, some man said, you know what, you said that really hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
I don't appreciate that.
Yeah.
The room stops. When that happens, it stops.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Because it's so different than what we're used to.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I said, feeling and being vulnerable is one of the bravest things you can do. That's why I said, like, when people are like, oh, you're sensitive, you're weak. It's like, no, to always be feeling and to be soft and to be pliable and to be open and vulnerable is a brave act.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's so brave. It's scary to share yourself. It's scary to be honest. So I said his lack of access to his emotions were a prison. We're a prison. And the unfeeling is where you die. Like, if you live in that unfeeling place, you die before you die. You will live a life unlived.
Yep.
With no emotions, no risk, no vulnerability, no openness, no love, no chance taken. That's a life unlived. And obviously, yes, measure this. Make sure it's safe. Make sure, you're not just out here, I don't know, expose my heart to the whole world because the whole world don't value you or your heart. You got to find the people who do. Yeah. But even if they don't, right? Like we talk about, you're your first home, you're your first community. Yeah. You be vulnerable with yourself. Yeah. Sometimes I really got to sit in my journal. Like, this is my journal. I have this much writing in it from, the end of December.
This is one of her journals.
One of my journals. Yeah. But I make space for myself. I make space for my feelings. I make myself a safe place. I don't judge myself for how I feel. I try not to. Yeah. I try not to judge myself for how I feel because they're my feelings and they're real. Yeah, absolutely. Like, whether or not they're unfounded or not, I have these feelings. Yeah. Like, when people say, like, it's not right that you feel that way. It's like, how are you telling somebody how they're supposed to feel? That doesn't make any sense. That's their feelings. And sometimes feelings do, I was going to say lie, but I think that's feelings sometimes filter the truth. I don't think that it's a lie. I think that, if three people are offering criticisms to you at the same time, your feelings would be like, I'm a horrible person. These people hate me. No. Calm down. Yeah. They're just offering, they're just off. Your ego is hurt. Yeah. Yeah. Understandable, because who likes that? But also, they love you enough to bring this to you. And hopefully you can take this in and correct it. And they're not breaking up with you. They're not saying, we're not friends no more. No, like, I love you. And so you're a safe place for me and my feelings. Yeah. And I hope that you would be a safe place for me too. I'm sorry. Did I say that right? Either way. I hope that we can be a safe place together. Yeah. And I said, so because he didn't feel, he died. Like, he was stuck in one place for years. Yeah. Because he couldn't feel. But again, I feel like he was feeling. I say, handwriting, girl. Okay, life is a tapestry of emotion. Absolutely. It's a beautiful painting of emotions. Like, just like we showed this picture, like, it's beautiful. Life is like this, for example, right? And it has darkness, it has light, it has gradients, it has color, it has, all these things that even look kind of randomly placed. Yeah. But even in their random places, it's beautiful, right? And I feel like the way that we live a full life, the way that we mature even is by feeling. Yeah. Like, we can't bypass. We can't just become mature and become wiser without feeling. Oh, wisdom comes with experience. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And our emotions have a lot to teach us. I said the more that we feel the better we can empathize with other people. The more we feel, the more we can heal others and set ourselves free. The more we feel, the more we empathize and are kind to ourselves.
Yeah.
And so I went back, to wrap this all up, I went back to a child, you know, a toddler, crying, you know, throwing a tantrum, whatever the heck. It's really easy to be inconvenienced by that, right?
Yeah.
But really getting to the heart of it, and that's what I've seen mothers do this, and I'm like, hats off to y'all, because sometimes I'll be like, girl, I don't know how y'all have the patience for this.
Yeah.
But like, what's going on?
Yeah.
What hurt you?
Yeah.
Right? Like sitting with them face to face to be like, what's going on? Like, why do you think that, or, you know, telling kids you're going to come back, right? Like they don't you're leaving me.
Yeah.
You're abandoning me.
Yeah.
Right? And they're like, I'm going to come back. You know, that's my will is to come back, and God willing I will, but like my intention is always to come back to you. You have to teach them that. And I feel like it's the same way for us. Like the initial reaction sometimes we have is like, okay, let me interrogate this real quick. They don't hate me.
Yeah.
Let me relax. Anxiety for me will lie to me. Like that spiral, like, oh my God, they hate me. Are they mad at me? I don't know. Like, did I say something wrong? And you're trying to put yourself in the mindset of other people, and it's like, and then you talk to them like, hey, like nothing happened. Like, are you mad at me about that? Girl, I haven't thought about that. And
What?
what are you even talking about? Right? But we get that way.
Yeah.
So yes. And think of all the time I could spend just being vulnerable again. Meanwhile, like, again, he wants to be vulnerable again, meaning he was vulnerable and lost it at some point and realized, actually, this is trash.
Yeah.
Not feeling sucks.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so instead of that, I'm willing to trade in all this unfeeling, all this armor, this weight, this emptiness, this shell of a person that I am for that feeling. And feelings are complex and complicated, and they're sometimes heavy and they're hard, but they're beautiful.
Absolutely. No, I agree. And I mean, I think when you understand the value of vulnerability or the value of feelings and emotions, you can appreciate it more. And I think it sucks because, again, you know, from my perspective, again, looking at the characters, you know, him, even as a robot, being a black man, like if we aren't taught that feelings are important, that they're actually good, that they're beneficial for you, why spend time on them? Why pay attention to them? You know, like,
why go to therapy to talk about feelings?
Exactly. Like, why would I invest in this? Yeah. And I did a I guess like a response video or whatever to a Psychology Today article that came out last year, I think, about, I think it was entitled "The Rise of Lonely Men." And in that article, the author was pretty much listing different things that men should work on if they want to get in like healthy relationships and stuff like that. And when that article came out, there were a lot of guys who pushed back against it. And one of and like one of the things that the author said is like men need to work on their emotional intelligence. And the thing that I don't think a lot of men are understanding is that, again, emotional intelligence is a skill set that's necessary moving forward in general, in all areas of life, not only romantically, but even like professionally. How many I don't know, maybe I could be wrong, but like how many corporations are having to do like sensitivity and like those kind of awareness kind of trainings and stuff. If you're not getting with it, why are they going to keep you? Sorry, like just because you may be good at sales or good at whatever your thing is, if you can't work well with people, if you can't connect with people, you're just talking about connection and stuff. And if you're not willing to be empathetic or respect other people's emotional states or whatever, you're a burden at this point.
Literally.
And I think there are so many men who want to hold on to what they felt like was helping them win before that they're going to miss the boat. Because they're trying to hold on to something that they built up, even though what they built up was bad. They built up this prison. They built up this toxic idea of what it means to be a good man, that they're missing it. And it sucks because it's like, you know, if you actually invested in going to therapy, that would change your life. That would help everything else, you know, like, or even if you spend time, like that's why I mentioned the thing about like the emotional release valve and using creativity. A lot of that is free because I understand like not everybody has money for therapy, you know, but you can journal.
I will say, yeah, because depending on your access.
Yeah, like you can journal. Most people have a cell phone. You can have a YouTube account, record vlogs, and put them on private.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Like a video diary.
Yeah, exactly. Like there are so many different ways and creative ways that we can do things just to help us grow and help us to be healthier. But if people keep teaching you, if the culture keeps teaching you, if society keeps teaching you as a man that this isn't important, this isn't valuable, why would you invest in it?
Yeah.
And that's the lie.
Yeah.
And there are people who are trying to work against it, push back, and like change that perspective. But we're fighting against a big machine that benefits not only from men being like that, not only from black men being like that, but for people in general acting like robots.
Yeah.
Being machines, not being human.
Yeah.
Like it's supported. You talk about capitalism, like they need us to continue to be cogs, not to actually be free and be in our
feelings.
Yeah, exactly. Like no, you need to. Like we were watching. Alicia likes to watch sometimes like old commercials, so stuff from like commercials from the 60s or whatever. 60s, yeah, and I think we were watching some from like the 80s, and it was like one was for Advil, I think, and it was like this is like the Advil generation, and it was the idea of just like
what?
You just keep taking drugs so you can keep working.
The medicated generation.
Yeah, it's like the
that's
medicated
crazy.
like. And that's where we are. Like, like it sucks. Like they actually made an effort to bring that to fruition.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing and suffering from all of that.
We're numb.
Yeah, we're completely numb because they need us to keep working. They need us to keep going along and not thinking about stuff. And that's why you have people even trying to get away from prescription drugs or things like that. Or even like with Trisha Hersey about resting. All you telling me is drink Monster and take Advil and do all this so I can keep going. So
5-hour energy.
Right, so I can keep hustling to build something. For who? But that's what my purpose is. That's what I'm doing. In all reality, all it's doing is destroying me.
Yeah.
And there's so many things in this matrix that we have to dismantle. And like I think part of this song like helps that to like identify like no, vulnerability again is important, and it's necessary to heal yourself and also to help heal others.
Yeah, I agree.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Don't be sorry.
Ranting.
No, you're not ranting. It was good. I do want to ask you though for yourself.
Yes.
As we start to wrap up, and I'll get to the comments. As we start to wrap up, I want to ask you what are you doing specifically to better emote or better feel?
To like get better at emoting.
Sure. Or like, coming out of that robotness.
The robot.
And like turning from the Tin Man into like, oh.
Yeah.
I
think a couple things, like one, making space for it. So continuing to use my own emotional release files. So like journaling, make sure I do that. But also making an effort to grow and study emotional intelligence. So whether it's like there's a YouTube channel, I think it's called Psych Today. And they have like all these short videos about different psychology stuff.
Okay.
So one video might be like, you're feeling misunderstood or something like that. I don't know. There are a lot of like little cartoon animations, but they talk about psychology and emotional health and mental health and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they're cute. Yeah, like Psych to Go. That's what it's called. Psych to Go. Yeah. So they have like little cute animations and stuff like that. So that like I'll watch those kind of things to be like, oh, okay, this helps me to better understand what I may be feeling, or kind of put words to things. Like I may have a understanding of a concept, but when people break it down, it's like, oh, okay, now I can actually use this. I can add this to my arsenal of like how I can better communicate with you, or I can better understand myself. It's like, okay, that's what I was feeling. That's what I was experiencing.
Yeah.
I think that answered it.
It does. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I guess specifically for Black men, since like your focus for your channel and like your work is like focus on Black men, what would you say? I guess like what you listed was also examples, but like what would you say like the first step should be for, or like a first few steps should be for Black men in general to be able to, who might be struggling, Black men who might be struggling with vulnerability and like, oh, what are feelings? You know,
realize and believe that you're human. Like, yeah, like realize that you are human, you're a human being, and that you do have feelings, you have emotions, you have a whole human spectrum of human existence that you were designed for, and to be aware that there's a system influencing you that does not care about you. Like I think, especially like when you hear like the arguments and stuff, and you know, the stuff that we see sometimes with like the manosphere stuff, a lot of those men, I believe, are deceived and are pointing and directing their energy to the wrong place, and not fully aware that there's an external force actually causing the problems. Yeah. So even, you know, sometimes we talk about it when it comes to like politics and stuff, like people can really, really intense about politics, you know, like liberal or whatever.
I'm a conservative. I'm a liberal.
And then they forget to understand that the people who are really in control of stuff could care less.
It doesn't matter.
They really don't care.
And no offense to anybody who's really political.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're
we're all political. Let's be real.
Yeah, because I mean, I would hope if you're involved in politics, it means you care about people.
Yes.
And so
that's the hope.
Yeah, you know, and like, so you want to do things that you believe are going to be beneficial to people as a whole. And I think it's important to realize that as there is fighting or whatever amongst the people, there is a small few people outside of the system who are benefiting from it and don't care. No. Y'all can keep fighting all day. Y'all can storm on capitals if you want all day.
They can storm on capitals.
But yeah, they can. But like we're gonna step back, let y'all fight, and we're still gonna make money. Yeah. We're still gonna do whatever we need to do. We're gonna benefit our families. We're gonna benefit our legacy, and all of you all are expendable. What I mean when I say that in regards to answering your question about like what Black men do, like you need to realize what's really happening. Yes. Like you need to be aware of the of like the facts. Because if you don't, I feel like it'll be difficult to actually start addressing things. Yeah. Like you need to be aware of the severity of what's happening. Yeah. Like you need to know who you are, and that you are valuable, and that what you're experiencing in your life matters, and realize that you're being influenced and taught by a system that doesn't care about you. Because you may feel like if somebody says, yeah, man, I think you should get therapy, or you know, you might work through this. If you're listening to those ideas and those beliefs to say that no, men don't get therapy, or if you do get therapy, that means something negative. Like we'll say misogynistic things about you or whatever. That's that system not caring about you. Yeah. Those ideas, those tropes, those mindsets, those structures, those strongholds are keeping you from actually healing and actually being yourself. And you need to know that. Like, you need to know that, like, yo, it's good for you to be good, like, and healthy. Like, you need to be healthy. Like, it's, if you're sad, if you're depressed, if you're tired, if you're any of this stuff, it's okay to experience that. Yeah. And, like, once you have that perspective, now we can start working on stuff. Yeah. You know, I hope that answers that.
No, it does. Yeah. It does. Yeah. You're doing great. You're doing great, sweetie. But yeah.
I did... Did you want to say anything else about the song? Because I know you said we're going to wrap up. I think I did have...
Please.
Okay. So, one thing, I think there was a lot in the Wiz in general. Okay. And while I was trying to write down notes for the song, things that were coming to mind for me is that what I liked, what I pulled from it, since you just, you know, asked me about Black men and stuff like that, I think the way I wrote it in my notes, I said the characters that were supportive to Dorothy... they represent the three things Black men need to serve the greater good. And so you have the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, and the Lion, right? And so they both were seeking things, right? So the Scarecrow was seeking pretty much intellect. Yes. The Tin Man was seeking a heart or compassion. Yes. And the lion was seeking courage. And so the way I broke it down is like, for men, in regards to being beneficial, it's the beneficial black man, they need a good mind, a good heart, and goodwill. So you need an intellect to be able to actually serve, and because that's what he did in the movie.
They all served Dorothy.
Right. Yeah, like, and they all served Dorothy and the greater good. But like with his intellect, he was able to say, we're going this way, we're going down this right road, or here's an idea to fix this problem, whatever. The compassion, again, him crying and even caring about everybody else, making sure everybody was there. Like his compassion healed.
Yes.
And then of course with the lion, he needed courage to actually do will, to actually do work.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. Like you can have compassion and intellect, but if you don't have courage to actually serve and do work, you need all three.
Yeah.
You know, you need all three, because you can have the energy, the will, and the smarts, but if you don't have a good heart, now you're just
prideful.
You know, like, you know, we mentioned him, we didn't say his name or whatever, but it was perceived that he had intellect and he had energy. Like I said, perceived. He had intellect, right? He had intellect and he had the will for a cause, but since his heart wasn't good, all of that was sent in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
So you need all of those things, and even with that, you can have compassion and will, but you need intellect to know exactly what you do to best serve. Yeah. And I think as men, we need all of those. Yeah. Like you have to have a good mind, a good heart, and a good will, so that you can serve. Yeah. That was it.
I love that. No, that's good. Not that was it. No, that's really good. I appreciate that. Yes. Just shared out. Thank you.
Yay.
Let's see. Love your being authentic. You are genuine. My discernment is deep. You're a great speaker and your partner soothing and knowledgeable about your topic. Thank you,
Hey.
H. Patricia Blackshire. Your name sounds so
Premium,
right? Like, ooh.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you so much. That's really sweet of you. That's really sweet. Yes, me too. On this bookshelf behind me, there's like at least 3, I think.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of books. I recently backed out of a flight because I was nervous of flying. I haven't flown since 1999. I couldn't sleep for a week thinking about it. I'm sorry.
Sorry about that.
I'm sorry about that. And I understand. I get anxiety flying too. I don't like flying.
Yeah, no.
I understand physics and all those things. Yeah. Still, in my mind, is like, this is a metal bird in the sky.
Right. This ain't right.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Moisture and flexibility are important. Ain't nothing like the stiff back. Yes. Oh no, ashy knees and hands. LOL. But your bones and joints need moisture too. Absolutely. The mind and spirit also need that same nourishment.
Absolutely.
Thank you, PJ Afroblue 92. Yeah. That's beautiful.
I think
love that.
Even with that, I think there's studies about that in regards to sleep. Like when you're sleeping, I can't remember what it is, but pretty much there's like a washing of your brain happening. And so when you don't sleep, which is, again, we were just talking about Advil, 5-hour energy, people like, I'm going to hustle or whatever. Like, you sleep when you're dead. Yeah. You might be dead sooner if you're not sleeping, you know, like, but that's important. Like, the benefit of sleeping is actually resetting things. Yeah. And doing that, moisturizing and stuff.
Yes, absolutely. I love that. The Darkness says, this reminds me of my nieces. Aw. My sister just gets mad at my nieces for their emotions, but when I'm around, I give them the opportunity to express themselves, and I ask my nieces, what's wrong? Then my nieces actually feel comfortable speaking and lets us get to the heart of the issue. Isn't it amazing what simply asking can do? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Hi, Ren. So important to address, or REN, so important to address the self as a child. Absolutely. Yeah. That's changed, that has changed the way that I speak to myself. Like looking at myself, like that picture of me as a child, like I am still her. And I still deserve that same kindness and grace and compassion that she got. Yeah. Just because she was a child. Just because you turn 18. Right. You know, you don't just know everything. And no, like we got to have grace with ourselves. We've never lived this life before. Yeah. We don't know what we're doing. Yeah. we make the best guess based on our past judgments and, understandings, but have grace with yourself. Yeah. Honestly. Yes to returning to your child self Yes, returning to your child self, is returning to your happy. Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I bought some bubbles the other day. And I also bought a bubble machine, and I want to use it in my videos, but I'm really excited to just blow bubbles. I just want to share, but yes. All matter. Ooh. I'm sure that's like French. Oh, I can't say that. I'm sorry. But yes, this is what India Ari's song Break the Shell is saying. Ooh, I need to check that out. Thank you. Break the Shell. The Dark Knight says, truly I tell you, unless you change and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. Yes, like, listen, the kids got it right.
Yeah.
They're very honest. They're very emotional, very sensitive. And they're so resilient. And I feel like there's something to that resilience. Yeah. Is that they're like, yeah, I just sobbed 2 minutes ago, and now I'm eating apples and I'm happy. Right. There's something to that. Yeah. Yo, what's good, brother and sister? Hi, welcome, Shaka Khan, D'Aquarius the Third. This name, I love it. I'm here for it. This convo has me feeling some type of way. I hope it's a good feeling. Yeah. I hope you're feeling good.
Beneficial,
right.
Yeah.
Brene Brown says it. Yes, I love Brene Brown's work, by the way, on vulnerability. And yes, okay. Brene Brown says it's real bravery to be vulnerable. Absolutely, emotional intelligence is crucial in all facts of life. You can't function well. In all facets of life. You can't function well in any relationship without having fellow feeling. Absolutely.
That's good, yeah.
Absolutely. Watching old commercials. I love it. Especially like when I watch the 90s commercials, I'm automatically taken back. The nostalgia. Yeah. I'm like, oh my God. I remember when commercials were, crazy. We were eating cookies for breakfast.
Yeah.
It's Cookie Crisp and Trix and all these all these unhealthy things.
Right.
Anyway. I stayed watching commercials from the 80s. Yes, it's nostalgic. It feels good. And even though I wasn't alive in the 80s, nor was I alive in the 70s, and I also wasn't alive in the 50s. Why am I going back like,
right.
Girl, we get it. But like, I still like watching that because it makes me happy.
Yeah.
It was a different time.
Yeah. And it's also interesting to see the difference.
Yeah.
Of like what was used as marketing.
Yes.
From decade to decade. Because they're very, very different.
In the 60s and 70s, shame tactics were used a lot.
Absolutely.
You want to be a good mother?
Right.
Use this toothpaste.
Yeah.
You want to be a good wife?
Yeah.
In the 50s, it was like this coffee commercial. I forget what brand. It might have been like Folgers or something.
Yeah, I think it was.
And they were like, oh, your husband's judging you because you didn't make the coffee good enough for him. Yeah. It's like, what in the world? This is crazy. Yeah. But it worked.
It worked.
Which is sad.
Yeah.
But yes. I used to watch. I watch old cartoons openings. Yes, they used to be lit back in the day. They really did London Link. They did. Yeah. Ain't nothing like it. Them cartoons today is not the same.
Yeah.
I will though give props to Adventure Time, regular show. Mm-hmm. There are a few.
Gumball's good too.
Gumball's really good. Yeah. But some of these commercials, I'm like, commercials. Some of these cartoons, I'm like, it's not giving.
Yeah.
Man, y'all some nerds starting to break down the Swisher. Wait, what? Some nerds. I am a nerd, but I don't know what that means. Sorry. I'm so sorry. You heard me. Psyched to go. Yeah, psyched to go.
Yeah.
I watch old commercials too, especially old commercials from the 80s and 90s. Absolutely. Let's see some shadow boxing. This is the wrong channel. Yeah. I promise. You're not finna see no shadow boxing here.
Not at all.
Yeah, love their stuff. Yes. As a side note, I appreciate this format where you and Jamiel are together on live. Yay! Y'all's chemistry really shows. Y'all are about what y'all teach. Thank you. Yeah. That means a lot. I appreciate that. You both have great chemistry. Thank you so much, y'all. I'm happy that we do. Yeah. We be on this live like being tense and passive aggressive and cruel to each other. That's funny. Let's see. Sending love to everyone. Love to you. Yeah. Oh, sending love back. Hearts. Oh yeah, hearts. I was doing a photo shoot with a couple who were from South Korea, and in the picture they were doing this, and I was like, what is that? Mm-hmm. And they're like, it's hearts. I'm like, oh my God, it is the hearts. Cutest. It's so cute. Totally agree. Did I read this already? No. You have, totally agree, Jamiel. You have to know yourself and what you need. Absolutely. Yeah. Self-awareness is sadly lacking these days. I agree. Yeah. I agree. Yazzie, this was lovely. Thank you both. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you all co-create the space.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because they'll be sharing a lot of good information in there as well.
Yeah. So, no, for sure. Yeah. Appreciate y'all. Oop, missed it. Adults need more compassion for adults. I agree. I don't understand the notion that we become all-knowing once we turn 18. Me neither. Right. Me neither. It's like as soon as you turn 18, they just throw you away.
Yeah.
They throw you away. Mm-hmm. Yay! Yes, the hearts. But yes, as soon as it's like you're out on your own now.
Yeah.
You're by yourself.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Life, you should have life figured out, even though you stayed behind a desk for the past 13 years. Yeah. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know who you are. You don't know who you are outside of school or outside of your parents or whatever the heck. Like, there's a lot of growing. And I really feel like even as I'm entering my 30s, like, I feel like I love this version of me. All those past versions of me were like almost like training ground for who I am today. Yeah. And I imagine when I turn 80, I'll be like, you know what? My 70s were training ground for my 80s. Yeah. You feel me? Like, we're layering all this stuff on top of it. We never stop learning. We never stop growing. Yeah. We got to have grace with people and patience.
Absolutely.
Everybody don't come to the realizations of things as fast as you do.
Right.
That, like, a lot of people are carrying different traumas that you're carrying. Like, we really have to be compassionate. And I feel like when we start to be vulnerable and compassionate with people and understanding and patient, obviously don't sit in a place too long, especially if you're being abused, right? Or being used. Yeah. But I feel like that's how we get better. A lot of people are ignorant because people gave up on them. Yep. And not saying we got to teach everybody, but you feel me? Our own little small sphere. That's how you change the world. Yeah. Cookie crisp. Absolutely. Yeah. I can still see the late night commercial selling 70s, 80s, and 90s CDs collections.
Those box sets. Two CDs.
Yes.
Right? If you call now.
Celine Dion, I'm your lady, right? Celine Dion.
Keep listing all the songs.
Luther Vandross, yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh, what a time to be alive. Yeah. You had to be there. It was a great time.
That's crazy.
The only thing that I feel like they're still selling is like Kids Bop.
Yeah.
For CDs and stuff like that.
Yeah, they still push those albums.
Do somehow.
They? I think so, yeah.
I would buy it. I'm going to transfer it to like, MP3s, but I would buy it. Because they had bops. Yeah. Waffle Crisp, yes. It's just horrible. They were just, here's some sugar, kids.
You're right.
Sugar for your morning.
Yeah.
Yay. Child of 83, Adventure Time regular show and Gumball were made for millennials. I agree. I 100% agree with this because there are adult jokes in there. I'm like, this is not for kids.
Yeah. Referencing things like, nobody would know.
What?
Like, these kids were not going to get what this is.
It's a part of our childhood.
Yeah. Which is interesting because it's always interesting now realizing that, but like cartoons are made by adults because the same so it's like the same thing happened with Looney Tunes, same thing happens like Animaniacs and all those stuff. Like the cartoons we were watching as kids were made by those adults and stuff like that. And it's like it's kind of weird because it's like adults are making these things for children, and so they're putting things in there because like even going back and watching like some Looney Tunes stuff again, knowing
it was adult, there
is adult stuff in there, and like even some references now is like, oh, I only got that now because like getting some more cultural understanding of stuff. It's like,
what are we doing?
And like
why was this okay?
It's just interesting.
We had a conversation like if and when we had kids, like would we let them watch the cartoons we watch now? And it's a no. It's too many adult themes, too many things to explain. I guess like maybe around like 8, 9 we can start having those conversations, but like 5 it's like they're just watching it because it's pretty and it's colorful and they just do slapstick stuff. You know what I mean? London Link, thank you. Welcome to the membership. Thank you so much. So the membership literally is just to show support. I was very ambitious and I was like, I'm going to do this and this and this, but thank you for supporting me. I hope that I can serve you well. Appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. Tell me how I'm supposed to live without you, right? Is that the song? Yes. I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today.
Yeah. Popeye.
Wow. The nostalgia.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy. Steven Universe was wild. I don't think that was made for kids either. It wasn't. That show's very adult. I'd be like,
we could go into a whole tangent about
we should talk about cartoons
media
at some point.
Because I think there are debates even about Steven Universe and like because again like you
I feel like that's for us. Like
it's
that's for
definitely
our
for us, and the thing about it is like
Gen Z.
All of entertainment teaches something, and like that's the scary part that I don't think people realize is that everything in media is serving a purpose and is communicating something. Yeah. So, even like if you're, for example, if you're trying to become a YouTuber or whatever, they talk about different niches or whatever. And then one rising niche is like edutainment. Yes. So it's like entertainment that's educational or whatever. But like every form of entertainment for the most part is
like educating. Life lessons or something.
It's educating you in something. Yeah. Whether it's beneficial or not.
And so like there is a lot of things in Steven Universe that some people are like, I will never
with their kids,
right?
Okay,
because it's
I
like,
can understand that.
You know,
the thing is, the issue for me isn't even, I don't know,
in other cartoons too
for sure.
Steven Universe,
like even even like Adventure Time, there was like a scene with like witches and stuff like that, and I was like, and again as an adult, like duh, I'm not gonna be doing like witchcraft or whatever. But some of the stuff they were saying, I was like, what's happening? Yeah. Or some of the stuff they were doing, like the Peppermint Butler was like into some weird shady stuff.
He had some stuff going on. Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I think the issue for Steven Universe for me is it's not even in people be like, it is because you just don't want to watch it because like it's about queer folks. And it's like, no, actually I don't care about that. It's some of the, again, it's okay that some things were just adult. Like some things were adult in Steven Universe, some things were adult in Adventure Time, and in regular show for sure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Very adult things. It's like, you know, if it's, let it be for the kids.
Yeah.
But again, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna enjoy. I'm gonna watch all the, all the specials. But yeah, or just like teach your kids as they're watching it, I guess.
Yeah,
you know, this is what that means. That's da 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 da.
Yeah.
Whatever. But I hope that makes sense.
Yeah.
The Jetsons were my favorite, but you're probably too young for that one. Okay, Auntie Trey. Well, okay, I wasn't there when it was originally released, but Nick at Night used to show that. I don't even know if they do it anymore. Nick at Night, they used to show the Brady Bunch, or was it Cartoon Network?
Well, Cartoon Network for a long time was showing
cartoon,
like older cartoons.
Like the Jetsons,
so Jetsons,
Flintstones.
Exactly, yeah. Hanna-Barbera stuff, Looney Tunes, all those things.
Exit stage left. That guy, what's his name?
Snagglepuss.
Yes. Like they showed all those cartoons. So I mean, we watched it, but it wasn't,
Yeah.
Here and now, I promise. Absolutely. To love. Rest in peace, Luther. I miss you. And they did start that on that part. That's crazy. You remember? You remember. I'm glad we had this time to just vibe. Me too. We should have a live exploring going back to the inner child. Yes. I would love that. Yeah. That would be deep. That'd be dope too. Crazy how y'all talking about this right when I was watching Rugrats in Paris. Yeah. Oh, I need to go back and watch Rugrats.
Yeah.
That was another show that had adult things in it too. The parents, I'm like, whoa.
Or like Hey Arnold.
Yes.
There's like if you go back, it's like, yo, there's some issues going on in the show that like they're not kids probably should know about.
Hello?
It's like,
what's her name? Helga Pataki's mom was an alcoholic.
For sure. 100%.
And I didn't even realize it until now.
Yeah.
Helga Pataki's mother was an alcoholic. Also, my mom didn't like me watching that show because Helga had a shrine to Arnold in her closet.
Yeah.
My mom was like, turn that off.
Yeah.
But no, like, I understand. Yeah. I get why she's, why she would say that. Because she's like, what the heck? This supposed to be cartoons. It's not like, but then, well, let's go back. Because even with Flintstones and the Jetsons, they had adult themes too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if we're watching that, then like there is no difference.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's that thing about like adults creating these things.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna put whatever they want in it.
Yeah.
And so that means like with every form of entertainment, whether it's live action or cartoons or anime or whatever, messages and information are being put in there.
Yeah.
And we have to be careful of that. I think even as adults, like, if you go back to like action movies from like the 90s or something like that.
Yeah.
The bad guys are always a certain group of people.
Yeah.
And
that's
then
true.
like,
yeah,
that's intentional.
They're darker.
Yeah. They're from a certain place. They have a certain accent. They believe certain things. Like it's always intentional. And it's
like their biases show up in their art.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's on purpose.
Yeah.
Like how can we low key program you with this?
Yeah.
To feel this way about people.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, hey,
because even with Flintstones, I don't remember there in. Well, I'm not surprised, but I don't think there was any black people in the Jetsons nor Flintstones.
No black people in the past, no black people in the future.
Dang.
My cousin pointed that out to me one day. I was like, oh no,
no black people in the Jetsons. You're right.
We can't make it.
We can't that's crazy.
We weren't there, and we can't make it to the future.
We can't make it to the future. Yikes. Oh yeah, his boy Elroy, Jane, his wife, daughter Judy. Yeah. Have you guys seen Velma yet? I was gonna watch it, not yet, but sorry, But I
heard it was trash compared to old school Scooby Doo.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'll watch it. I'll check it out. Yeah. Maybe we can talk about it later because I do think people are very attached to Scooby Doo. Yeah. That was Scooby Doo in the 60s? Was it 60s?
I mean, at this point, it's generational.
Yeah.
It's multi-generational. That's true. From
I watched Scooby Doo coming up too.
Yeah, various different versions of it.
That's true. Yeah. Scrappy Doo. Yeah. There's so many different iterations. So maybe people are like connected to that. I'm not sure, but I'll check it out to see what the fuss is about. Yeah. But people are up in arms. I'm gonna check that out for sure. I still watch Arthur and the Bear Seen Bears. Yes, Arthur. Mm-hmm. Why did the Doug? Rest in peace, Lufa. Okay, when I tell you the day he died was such a sad day. Oh my gosh, it was such a sad day.
That's true.
What'd you say? I was so surprised to find out Arthur was just recently had an ending last year. That show came out in like 1995. I didn't know they were still showing that show. Yeah, and I was like, it's ending?
Yeah.
I thought it was done. I've seen many shows. Velma might truly be top 5 worst. I thought you were about to say top. Okay, well now I gotta watch it.
Yeah.
Yes, Rugrats was it.
Mm-hmm.
I heard it's getting a season 2. I wonder who made that happen. Yikes. Maybe people like hate watching, and it's like, oh, they have the views.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yep. How was Scar the only black lion in the whole pride? And the evil one. That's so real. Scar had black features. We were talking about earlier about how evil people are depicted on screen, and talking about like what is it? Desirability and what is the word or the phrase?
You said pretty
privilege.
Yeah.
Like how literally the evil person in every story is supposed to be ugly. First of all, Scar was not ugly, but whatever. But he had the scar, right? Like it's like, oh, he's supposed to be the darker creature and he has scars and all this other stuff. When it's like the people who are the evil ones are usually, you know what I'm saying? Like they're usually darker or have, features that are very, specific. So then we're talking about like, it could go very deep. You can talk about like ableism. You could talk about a lot of things. But yes. Yeah. And the only evil one. Like, how did Scar get there? I have questions. Who are his Like,
hey, what? I mean, that was his brother, right? Yeah.
So, that was his brother.
Yeah.
But there should be variations. I guess in a later Lion King, like Lion King 3 or something, there was like a a mini Scar or something?
Yes.
I got to go back and watch now. Because we got to do a song on Lion King too. But anyway. Okay. Jamiel, we're not doomed, are we? No future.
No, that's why there's a whole black futurism.
Yeah.
So there's a whole... Yeah. Which is something I really want to get into because and you talk about that, like I'm thinking about specifically the Black Panther franchise or whatever, and how people were up in arms like you're portraying France evilly or whatever, because remember they were trying to like in the spoiler alert, I mean it's not really important to the story, but the French were coming in there trying to steal vibranium from the Wakandans. Yeah. And so the French people were like, this is not portraying France correctly. And I'm like, there are people in Africa right now who are speaking French. Yeah.
So tell me how. Yeah. Tell me how this is incorrect. But also, like, people can't imagine a black nation existing without being touched by white people. And which is why I love that with even though it's living in the world full of like imperialism, all these different things, in Black Panther, it's like the only place that we see ourselves untouched, like ourselves as in like black bodies, right? Untouched by, colonialism or whatever the heck. And so, we like it. And there are people who are like, you guys are just, you're worshiping blackness. That's a whole other conversation for another day. Yeah. But I'm like, can we have anything?
Right.
Why is it that whenever we get happy about something, it's like a whole think piece? It's like, it's not that deep.
Yeah.
We know Wakanda's not real, but we can have fun and imagine and get dressed up.
Yeah.
And do the little thingy if we want to do it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Golly, let us live. Yeah. Anywho. How do you become a London Link? How do you become a London Link? Tell me more. Oh, it's like, how do you become a member? No, maybe not. How do you become tell me more. Or if you're talking to London Link, you might not be talking to me. Rugrats, yes. Rugrats feels like home. It feels like home.
Yeah.
The Ursula versus Ariel imagery. Yes, exactly. Oh, I see a join button. Next to subscribe button, I'm on. Oh yeah. That's if you want to join the thing. It's no pressure, but I appreciate it if you do. Mufasa light skin, I guess.
That's funny.
First of all, you ask any person what was the first Black Disney movie, they gonna say The Lion King.
Yep.
They're gonna say The Lion King. I also didn't like. This is just an aside. At this point, we just talking. But I did not like the remake. I know. No. I'm sorry.
No, it was no.
I didn't see the point. There was nothing.
Yeah.
And then the animals like dead in the eyes.
Yeah, it wasn't.
I don't know. I get they're supposed to be realistic.
Yeah, it was supposed to like capture like realism, but it definitely took away from the Disney magic.
Yeah. Like we I don't need it to be real.
Yeah.
They're lions that are talking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I want it to feel you know.
Yeah.
Fake.
Yeah.
We know these, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But yes. This has been wonderful. What a great community right in my living room. Yay, I'm glad. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you're having fun and y'all are spending time.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. The evil person in every story being less attractive is an American thing because in anime, great. In anime, the pretty people be the most evil and
true.
Overpowered, slapping people down.
It's true.
It's true.
Yeah.
This is, I'll be watching a lot of anime and I be trying to follow with some stuff. Because some stuff is really violent.
Yeah, and I tried to. I fell off. Like I used to. There's so much.
Yeah.
There's so much content in general.
Yeah.
And there's just so much anime.
Okay.
And it's like hard to keep up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aww.
No.
Yeah. Some stuff I'll be watching out the corner of my eye, like, oh my god.
Yeah. I can't watch certain stuff.
It's like being destroyed.
Around Alicia, because it's bad.
I can't. I'm not a violence person. I can't do it. It's not fun to me. But white people can live in all kinds of fantasy lands. Miss me, exactly. They can live on water. They can live in space.
Under the sea.
Under the sea. Like, people were in uproar that a mermaid was black.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know,
if I'm not mistaken, she's like light skin. She's not even like...
Who, Ariel?
Yeah, I mean...
Haley.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, she's like not even
I was like, no, baby, Ariel was white.
No.
But I know what you're talking
Yeah, like, you know, it's not even like a super drastic.
Okay,
you know,
I see what
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like...
Yeah. How dare you black swim?
You're right.
What?
No black people can't swim.
Also, it's mermaids. Are we really up in our... Yes, we are. Because, again, like you said, black people don't get to exist in on land, let alone, you know, under the sea.
Yep.
Under the sea. And Sebastian was a Jamaican. Was he not Jamaican? Am I lying? I could be very wrong. I'm sorry if that was offensive. I just thought that he was.
No.
Was he not black?
I think that was the implication for this.
It's a talking crab.
Yeah.
But I think they're more comfortable with a black person playing the side role as opposed to being the main one.
Yep.
Because y'all dragged, well, I mean, fair. Black people dragged The Princess and the Frog. And at first I'm like, oh my God, I'm so excited. This is awesome. And then somebody pointed out to me, actually, this takes place in the segregated South. This woman had to struggle. She couldn't even...
Yeah, like...
What? She was an animal the whole movie. I was like, wow, well...
When you
there goes that.
Yeah, you know, like, I feel like there are times where Disney is trying.
Yeah.
They say that they're trying, and it's like, there were so many other great things that you could have did, and it's usually with people of color.
Yes.
You know, like...
I think, like you said, Jamiel said he would have loved if it was like the Harlem Renaissance. I would have loved that, actually.
Why not? Like, why not? It could have been...
There was struggle there, too, but...
Yeah, but, like...
Yes.
Even in the most recent version of The Great Gatsby...
Yes.
There's kind of like a scene where... I have to answer this.
Oh.
I'll call back.
Okay, are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because we can wrap it up, baby. It's okay.
Okay.
Okay, but yes, finish your thought.
No,
though.
yeah.
Sorry.
No, yeah. So like, there's a scene in The Great Gatsby where they're like hanging out or driving around and stuff, and they pass a group of black people doing the same thing.
Yes.
Like
I love that.
They're living, you know, in luxury and having a great time too. Like it wasn't just only white people were doing that. Like they at least acknowledged it. So yes, you could have had a moment where, you know, you can have this amazing story for this black woman.
Yeah.
And she doesn't have to be struggling.
Yes.
You know, like...
She don't.
whatever.
Like, we get it. Black people struggle. Okay, so in this fantasy, can we not?
Yeah.
Like, is it okay to imagine? Or, like, imagine a land that doesn't exist where black people just live.
Right.
Again, untouched. Shout out to Wakanda again.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
by, you know, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, I agree. I so agree. Yeah. I know what you meant, though. Thank you for sharing that. But yes. I see members. Oh, yeah. If you want to join, I think it's like near the subscribe button. If you want. Yeah. There's no pressure at all. The movie visually pleasing, otherwise trash. They took away and edited good songs. Yes. Mm-hmm. And they gave us, first of all, Be Prepared is one of my favorite Disney songs.
Yeah, it's a good one.
And they shortened it to like the end of the song. I'm like, what are y'all doing? Yeah. I was so disappointed. And I went to sell it. I was like, it's black.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah. And I was like, this is actually very bad. It's cringy.
Yeah.
New Lion King was giving Uncanny Valley. Yeah. Oh no. How dare you, Black Swim? Yeah. Right. They really don't want us to have anything. Nothing. Harlem Renaissance context would have been so clutch. I agree. Mm-hmm. I agree that would have been dope. Like all the poetry, all the music. Yeah. And she's trying to open a restaurant, which makes sense. Yeah. Anyway. And she sings. The girl who plays Tiana sings. Always a struggle for black folks, but we were living then. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. If you want anime that isn't super violent, try Fruit Baskets. Ooh, I'm intrigued already. Violet Evergarden, Rent a Girlfriend, and Studio Ghibli got some good movies. Ooh, thank you. I'm gonna write this down. I'm gonna write it down after we finish. But yes, thank y'all for hanging out with us. Yeah. We went over, but it's always a great conversation with y'all. Yeah. I hope that you all got something from this.
Yeah, hopefully.
Feel your feelings. Feel your feelings. Mm-hmm. And your feelings can be scary, they can be overwhelming, but your feelings are not there to harm you, they're there to heal you. Yeah. If you would allow them to. Feel your feelings. Yeah. I still haven't watched New Lion King. Don't. I'm just kidding. You can. You can. It's just not. It's nothing that was necessary.
It wasn't.
You know what I mean?
It didn't add anything new.
No. If anything, it just took away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it literally just took away. It didn't. Mm-hmm. There was nothing. There was no different take on it or a different spin. Yeah. It was just like, I think their selling point for the movie was the cast.
Yep.
The people, 100%. The Beyonce, the Childish Gambinos,
yep,
100%. What's his name? Oh my gosh, the guy who plays Scar. I love him. Anywho, the cast was amazing. It's an all-star cast, but just visually it was just lacking, and the storytelling was not.
Yeah. In
my opinion, again. Art is very subjective, so you might watch it and love it, but I just didn't. I prefer the cartoon. 100%. I prefer the cartoon. Yeah. Yes. Ooh, and Yawamushi pedal. Ooh, thank you. I'm gonna check this out. These sound cute. I'm for cute.
Yeah.
You know, I can't do what is it? One where they're like, the one on Adult Swim on Saturdays, Titan.
Oh no, nobody should watch Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan? I can't do it.
I mean, that's just my opinion. I watched the first season of that show. Yeah. I was like so depressed.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, supposedly it gets better.
Okay.
But we will never watch Attack on Titan.
Okay, yeah.
We will never watch Attack on Titan.
Yeah. No. Okay. Well, that's that on that. But yes, all hearts to you, or hearts. Yay. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with us. Thank y'all for listening and for just being amazing. Yeah. Y'all are a fun time, and I appreciate y'all. Thanks, Alicia and Jamal. This was super dope. Good night, everyone. Good night. I hope that you all have a wonderful evening, and I will see y'all next time.
I will say this real quick.
Yes, please.
Thank you for allowing me to come on your platform.
Of course.
And thank you for the work that you continue to do, because I know everybody is blessed and gets a lot of benefit from your vulnerability, because you share a lot on your channel. So, like, I want to highlight that, so, okay.
Thank you.
But I mean, it's true. So, thank you for continuing to do, what you're doing. Because I know, it's hard to do that. It's hard to do that work. Mm-hmm. But I'm sure everyone in here can say they appreciate you, and the work that you do is valued and is definitely needed. So thank you.
I'm blushing. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. And sorry. Please plug yourself and if you share with the peeps.
Sure. My YouTube channel is The Beneficial Black Man. Go check it out if you would like. I try to talk about content to help Black men think better and manage their mental and emotional well-being.
Yes.
And to just grow and become beneficial men for our community.
Yay.
That's the goal and the hope.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that. Thank you. And we hit 100 subscribers.
100.
Yes. So shout out to Jamiel. Thank you for being here, first of all. Thank you for sharing space with me.
Yeah.
And talking to the peeps.
Yeah.
All right. I love you.
I love you too.
All right. Well, I love you guys. I hope that you have a wonderful evening. Enjoy the rest of your evening. We're about to go eat. So that's always fun. It's late. Mark is going to get on me.
Yeah.
He's like, y'all eating after 9 again. But yes. But I appreciate y'all. Oh, thank you. Ooh. Also, black anime. Please, yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to come back to this. Okay. As long as it's not too bad. Thank y'all. Good night, everybody. Oh, yay. I'm so happy. I had a great time. I had so much fun. Of course. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Please follow and share The Beneficial Black Man. Thank you, Level Up Single Mom. Thank you, Vitamin Key.
Thank you.
Appreciate y'all. Yay. This has been very entertaining. Oh, that makes me happy. Yay. Awesome. Yay. Oh. I need to go to your, what's going on? Oh, yeah. The Dark Knight, you didn't repost your story.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay. Please comment under this.
Yeah, I would say, leave it in the
share
comment.
if you want to share it.
If you want.
Yeah. And we'll come back and read it.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, you guys. Have a good night.